Okay. Is that working? Looks like it is. Nice, nice, nice. All right. Twitch, are you doing? Twitch is doing? All right, guys, you are not missing anything. Twitch, I'm gonna go ahead and run your ads, get them out of the way before everybody shows up. That way they don't get stuck with ads. Don't worry, you're not missing a thing. I am just pushing buttons. There we go. And we have got sound alerts are on the right thing. And our captions are going. Is that everything? Oh, we probably need to launch the game, huh? That is probably a thing we need to do. There we go. Probably need to move that before I poke myself in the eyeball. Oh. There we go. I think everything is going. I already started up Steam. What do you mean? Steam, what you doing? There you go. There we go. Adele, how you doing? How was your holiday? There we go. I hate whenever you move things or open things and then just the randomest, for no reason, the other windows on another screen or something like that just decide they want to move. Hello, boys. Yes, exactly. That's like the deepest, like, most cigarette smoking voice I can manage. Hello, boys. I don't. For some reason, I think of what is it? Independence Day, the guy that was driving the plane up into the ship. That's what I'm thinking of when I say that. Holidays? Oh, it was just our Thanksgiving. You are likely overseas and therefore not celebrating the same holidays we did. We just did our Thanksgiving. You know, the thing where you spend 2 days cooking and everybody eats it in 5 minutes and then disappears. You also spend a week cleaning your house and cooking for 2 days and then everybody disappears 5 minutes after the food is done. It was exhausting. You call that Christmas? We do that at Christmas too, so we get 2 times to, you know, really do it. But Christmas, I tend to make it like a smaller meal. I do lunch for Thanksgiving. A lot of people do dinner. I do a lunch. And then for Christmas, we do like a breakfast. And typically, we will make like pancakes for everybody and muffins and bacon and eggs. And I was like, no, this year we're not doing that. I'm not spending 2 hours in the kitchen making pancakes for everybody to eat for 2 minutes. Us have tons and tons of leftovers, and for me to see people's faces for 5 minutes. I'm not doing it this year. So we're gonna make like a couple of things, like maybe some. I've got some ham because for some reason the ham and turkey were really cheap this year, like even cheaper than they were in the last 2 years. I don't know why the prices suddenly cut, but it was really odd. So we went ahead and got 2 hams and turkeys this year. Probably won't see those prices again for a long time. But stuck them in the freezer, and I'm gonna make a ham for Christmas, and then I'm just gonna make some eggs because of course we've got a lot of eggs because our chickens. I'm clicking on the thing. There we go. um, I have got a lot of chickens, and some of them just started laying. So yeah, I'll probably do that, and then we'll do like some snack stuff. Like, I don't remember the last time we made Chex Mix. So I'll probably make some like Chex Mix and some oyster crackers, which are just like the little saltine crackers, the tiny little ones with like a dill garlic sauce something or another on them, and make a couple of snacks, maybe a vegetable platter or something. to that effect, but I don't really want to do like a huge cook like I did like the last couple of years, because I think last year specifically, I spent an hour in the kitchen cooking food, and everybody literally ate for 5 minutes, and everybody was done and took off, and that was it. Didn't even eat all the pancakes that I had made. So I think this year I'll probably keep it smaller. Though I might actually make some pancakes because I have some leftover pumpkin from making my own, very own homemade pumpkin pies. Well, I can't say fully homemade. I didn't make the crust. I was worried about having two things I had to worry about and possibly messing up both, so I bought the crust and made my own pumpkins, my own pumpkin pie puree from my own pumpkins, which actually turned out very damn good. So I was very happy about that. But I will likely have a lot of extra puree, and I like pumpkin pancakes, or maybe even some pumpkin muffins. But I can make those a couple of days ahead of time, so I won't be stuck in the kitchen on Christmas Day. That would suck. Just so you guys know, I did play this game for this week's recording, and it's actually the video that will come out today on my main channel. So if you guys are interested in seeing what I did, apparently 2 days have passed in game, but I actually played it for a little while and did a few more missions. Skylarking, thank you so much for the resub. Subscribed for 28 months. Daggum. Dude. Thanks for all the caffeine and all of your effort. Thank you. Definitely all of the caffeine. I really need to sell caffeine products. It just seems like something my channel would do, but just a lot of caffeine products I don't trust, so I haven't found anyone that I would do like a sponsorship thing with. And I don't know that much about business to do my own business, so I probably won't ever do any of those. Coffee by Liz. Yeah. The name of the coffee would have to be Coffee and Kink. And, you know, you buy some coffee and get a tiny set of handcuffs in it. It would only be like a couple of people that would get the joke and actually buy the coffee, but it would be worth it. Right now, I'm actually drinking this coffee because my house is so entirely cold. Have you guys had, like, fluctuating temperatures? Like, I mean, wildly fluctuating temperatures? We have. Oh my god, this entire Thanksgiving week, we went from, like, 78 degrees down to the high of, one of the days it was like the high was 48. And the lows have been bouncing between 50s and 30s, which is way above freezing to down and freezing, and it has been all over the place. Hey, Reaper. Where have I been, young lady? Trying to recover. It was a long week. I mean, I scrubbed places in my house that I haven't even looked at in 5 years. It was ridiculous. I pulled a muscle in my back. I was laid up for 2 days. Still did Thanksgiving, and everybody ate and disappeared in 5 minutes. It was kind of, you know, it is what it is. And we had lots of leftovers. I just got finished eating turkey, which is probably going to be bad later. So, coffee and kink. Kink the coffee, I'll take the kink. It's just sell handcuffs. Yeah, there we go. That'll work. And I think I'm battling the sniffles, but it's also because we don't have like one set way of heating the house. It's either firewood or propane, and trying to determine what the temperature is going to be and whether or not we need to put the effort in for one or the other. It's kind of leaving the house like some days it's warm and some days it's freaking cold. Like, I don't even want to be in the rest of the house right now. It is so damn cold. So I'm in here. I was in here last night. Hopefully Bam will be able to come home and chop up some firewood, because I don't think we want to go and get propane until next week or something like that. But anyway, yeah, the coffee is keeping me warm. Your weather beats the hell out of what we're getting. What are you guys getting? Are you guys getting snow? Are you getting that white stuff that doesn't exist? I'm sorry, I'm wiping my nose a lot. I was actually freezing before I came in here. I was sitting on the couch underneath the blanket watching TV, and I fixed my coffee right before I came in here so it would be nice and warm. And now, of course, from freezing cold to now, I'm just... my body doesn't know what to do with itself, I'll be honest with you. Are you guys getting snow? We barely even know what snow looks like here. Check your DM. Uh-oh. Yeah. Holy crap. That's a lot of snow, dude. Yeah, we don't get snow like that. I think once every 3 or 4 years we'll get a serious snow. But yeah, it's not something we see a lot of, and it usually doesn't stick when we get it. We'll get flurries a couple of times a year, but it won't stick. We'll have maybe once a year where the snow will stick on the ground, and it'll last a couple of days, and then it'll go away. But the entire town, okay, that's just hair getting tickling my nose. The entire town shuts down. If we know snow is coming in, we're one of those places where we go to the store, buy our milk and bread for our bread sandwiches, or milk sandwiches, or whatever it is that we're doing with it.
Oh, you touch my tra-la-la. My ding-ding-dong.
Ah, thank you, Richie. Thank you. How you doing, Richie? We go to the store and we buy our emergency supplies because it's not just, we don't have trucks here that, we don't have snow trucks in our area anywhere. I think the only place that actually has them is up around Atlanta. And I think they only have a few of them, and we share them with surrounding counties and states. Like, they have a timeshare on their snow trucks and stuff like that. We don't have any around here. It takes a long time to open roads up. Nothing's built for ice, so power goes down, trees inevitably collapse, and all kinds of stuff. It's just really not good. Loaf bread, quarter of milk, and a stick of butter. Yeah, well, actually, I'll be honest with you, I don't think there's a single time I've gotten a stick of butter. I've always gotten a loaf of bread and a gallon of milk, and I never understood why we do it. We just do it. Why specifically those things we go get, but we go get them. It's just mass hysteria. Everybody goes and gets their bread and milk. Just in case. I was like, okay, well, I could think of other things that would probably be a whole lot better than that. My body is actually going to force me to go take cold medicine again, and I don't want it. Okay. I have gotten a mini bike. Like I said, the episode that is coming out today on my main channel is actually going to show how I got the mini bike, so I'm not going to do any spoilers. Go watch the episode, obviously, if you want to see how I got it. But I've also got, let me show you guys really quick. I've got a new hat. I've got some new gloves. I got all of those in this episode. Yeah, it was the gloves and the hat that I found. That's basically the only thing. I didn't find a whole lot of stuff. You took care of the horde? Thank you. I was on the day of the horde, but I played for 2 hours and it was still a long time until the horde, so I left. And, Ranger was in whenever I left. I don't know that he stuck around for the horde, so... Sounds like us when you get a small touch of the white stuff and we get cut off, yeah. But here it's like, we are maybe 10 minutes outside of town, and only because there's a couple of sections you go through that's like 30 miles per hour or something like that, really, really slow areas. We're really not that far outside of town. But they don't have trucks here at all to clear the road, so it takes a while. You blame me for you playing Vane? I'll take that blame. I could promise you, well, I can't promise you, it's not 100%. I can say it's probably going to be something you're going to enjoy the more you figure out. Just make sure you play the tutorial. I didn't even know that the tutorial was there until I saw Bam playing it. Bam's not a gamer, but he saw the tutorial button and he clicked on it. So it will actually show you how to do some things that I didn't even know how to do when I started. Horde started, then Ranger joined as it was starting. Ranger joined the game, Ranger left the game. Yeah, he was in and out while I was playing. And it was Horde day. And I was like, maybe the Horde will still be here whenever I get on here, but I don't have a base, so, you know. You're out from a small town and a steep hill, so the bus tends to get stuck. Yeah, we got a couple of roads that the buses in our area wouldn't be able to traverse if snow hit. They just wouldn't be able to do it. As a matter of fact, if it's threatening to snow, they will shut schools down. Mainly because we have snow days for our school, and there was one year they didn't know if we were going to get snow, so they had schools go ahead and open up, and the snow happened, and people, especially up in Atlanta and stuff like that, where there's a whole lot more folks, obviously, because it's a big city, but some of their buses got stuck on the highways, and they couldn't get to them, and they got sued. So they are very careful about if it's going to snow or if there's going to be black ice on the road or something like that about shutting down the schools. They don't take any chances with that because Atlanta does suck. Atlanta sucks so much. I've had to go to Atlanta for classes before and stuff like that. It sucks so hard. It really does. As much as I like to look at it from a distance, I would never want to live in a big city. I hate big cities. I don't mind seeing the lights from afar and looking at look at the big buildings, but I would never want to stay there, and I really don't want to travel through there. There are times when I feel like my tiny town is getting too big. Whenever they expanded the highway, I was like, oh, ew, why are y'all doing this? Stop. You know, but they didn't ask me, so it's fine. Okay. In that episode, I also put out these. I really don't think in this patch the dew collectors are fixed. I think that they were talking about in the next patch they were going to fix it where whenever you have the time expanded, the dew collectors should collect more. I think they are working very, very slow. That should have definitely been filled because I was on day 35. That's 2 days. That's 6 hours worth of gameplay, and I've got 9 bottles of water. 9. Which, you know, we are playing a mod where it doesn't really matter, but still. Still, guys. That needs to be fixed. Whoever designed the roads needs a punch in the face. I think the biggest issue is they didn't actually design them. It just kind of organically happened and then organically went to crap. You know, organic crap happens. And those roads, the Spaghetti Junction and all that, oh. And what's even worse is the main, okay, I'm just speaking out of pocket here because there's a lot of people who don't know anything about Georgia, much less where to find it on the map. But mainly the biggest hub in our fair city, the seat of Georgia's power, which actually sucks. The place sucks so hard. But there is a big city with a big road all the way around it. So technically you can circumvent the entire city if you want to. The problem is every single little district that is around there, every single county, has a different speed limit on the same stretch of road. Most of that road is like 70 miles per hour, which is a pretty top-notch speed for going around a big city on a, what is it, not a 4-lane highway, it's a 6-lane highway. It is huge. But there's a couple of sections where the speed limit drops by like 30. And if you're not paying attention, you can get a super speeder easy. Ask me how I know. And it sucked. That was a $500 speeding bill because one area decided to drop their speed limit down. It was so stupid. Anyway, we got our water going. Let's go pick up a mission. I don't think I got another mission. No, I got a mission. Hang on. Let's go. But yeah, they needed to be punched in the face. And it's even worse in other towns because I swear in places like Macon, I worked in Macon, what was it? Oh God, 15 years ago now. Oh, I hated saying that. Anyway, a long time ago, and apparently some of those sections that I used to travel through that were congested because of road work, they're still working on those sections. I swear it's like they're just perpetually never done because some company is getting funding and they don't want the funding to stop. That's the only thing that makes sense on why it would be taking so long. And that is not the only place. I'm pretty sure Atlanta's the same way. Just places constantly under construction. By the time they finish construction, they have to start back over because it took so long. Kind of like this game. You know, by the time they fix one thing, they got to go back and work on something else because, you know, it's been a decade. There we go. You've got mail. It's wiring. 15 years ago, so when you were like 10 years old? Yes. Yeah, I was working at 10 years old, you know, child labor. It was fashionable back then. It is the bank. Is it connected to... Are these offices? I don't know. There's advertisement. Okay. Okay, it's a clear. I did not remember getting this mission.
Hey, buddy. You look thirsty.
Oh,
Why
thank
don't
you.
you get hydrated?
Ty, how you doing? That is the last cup of coffee I can have for the day. That's my third cup. Sadly, I can't drink another cup. Otherwise, I will be up all night long. All night long. And when I stay up all night long, the next stream just turns out infinitely worse. Or better, depending on whether or not you're trying to watch a train wreck. How far have you gotten in vain, Night Owl?
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage, yes. Oh, I do remember this one. Never mind. Oh, I did want to say thank you guys. I know a lot of you saw the video. As a matter of fact, oddly enough, that video has gotten more views than I've gotten in... Well, except for my opening weekends of streams for a new update or something like that. That's probably the most views I've gotten on a video. So, thank you guys for watching the... You okay? Dude just full-on face planted into that wall. Thank you guys for watching the video about me resigning from the Fun Pimps program. I know it was a bit long-winded, but trying to figure out what I was supposed to say and how I was going to say it took a little while to working up to. Died 3 times setting up my first base. Oh no. It takes a little while trying to get the melee down and then figuring out how to bandage yourself, and it takes a minute. Especially since the scratches don't offer you a chance from the medical menu. Heck, I didn't even know that the medical menu existed during the first part of it. I had no idea how to properly heal myself. And then to find out from that medical thing that you also don't get offered the ability to heal all the things that should be healed. It's a bit of a thing. So 12 hours of therapy, drink more coffee? Oh, no. Oh, did you see the advert that Red Barrel put out? It's not really a full advert, it's a tease for the next Prime. She sounds creepy as hell. I'm very interested, very, very interested in seeing what it's going to be. By the time we get to stream Bethesda, it'll have Fallout sorted. Put kindly, the launch was a mess. Yeah, I saw that. That's the reason why... Well, that and I'm hoping Tigress is going to be off to be able to join us. Apparently when they did the update, their servers just kept crashing or whatever. So, it's good that I wasn't trying to play it the day of. I kind of figured, you know, Bethesda can't launch anything... I knew you were coming. Bethesda can't launch anything that just, like, works. You know, like Todd Howard said, it just works. No, it doesn't. Takes a lot of effort to just make it work. Is that van down there trying to hump that car? Only cars? And the servers are still down? They're still down? That's shocking. It's weird, it's almost like they didn't test things again. You know Bethesda and their testing, they test the crap out of that stuff, you know? I'll take those blueberries. I actually need to get a garden going. I am so late on getting a garden going. Hello? Housekeeping. I've come to empty your garbage. Yeah. Nice. Not sure why this thing has the ups like it does, but dude just launched. What does it take in order to fix this? Wood? Stealing your door. It needs a repair kit. Okay, gotcha. So at some point, that is definitely not going to work anymore. At one point, weren't you fixing bats with just wood, and then after you went to the steel ones, it went to a feral? Dude, I still have a pipe weapon. Okay. So, about those rads. If you really think about it, that's probably Fluffy's pee I just got out of that toilet. So we're just not going to think about it. Let's just not think about it. Okay. I checked your pockets, right? Yes. Same time last night I was watching Peeps trying to stream it, got in, and she only played for maybe 5 minutes before the server went down. This is probably the most action their servers have seen since, like, probably launch. This is gonna break. Oh, she figured it out. Oh, no. Okay. But anyway, my resignation video, I appreciate you guys watching it and putting up with the long-windedness of it. I actually not intending to make a full video, so maybe I'll just clip out this section. Apparently, 2 days after I left, the Fun Pimps creator program had a clean out, and they got rid of people who were not creating content and who are being too toxic for their liking. So I don't know how many people got pushed out. I know of only one. He let me know after it happened, but I don't know how many other content creators got pushed out of the program. So I don't know. Did you really have to be a rad though? Okay. Just in case. You got in for 10 minutes earlier today. They've been shut down the servers again at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but the total, it's basically been down for 24 hours and now it's a new record, apparently. What the heck is happening? I know this, it's not that. Okay, now he's dead. It's not what you think it is. YouTube, it was not what you thought it was. This is a Christian Minecraft server. Get your mind out of the gutter. Poop! I found poop. If they add poop back into the game, they have to make it where you can slap somebody in the face with it and leave poop on their face. Be a whole new way to play PvP. I quick stacked all of my clothing. Oh no. Just running around the apocalypse in your whitey tighties, huh? Why? How is your activation zone over here? Old hunting knife, huh? Has something to do with AWS servers that are hosting the game. Servers on Elder Scrolls Online also had problems when they did their update earlier today. So they're updating servers, and that kind of messed up the launch. You would figure they would plan that better. Like, we have this big update that's coming out. When's the best time to push this? I don't know. But on such and such date, we're going to be updating our servers to this new system. You know what? That's a good day to launch. We'll do it that way. It's a bad idea. Such a bad idea. Hey, dude. Have you got a repair kit in your pocket by chance? Do I have a repair kit in my pocket? No. Nope. Hello? Oh, also be careful because sometimes the damage you get can actually break your clothing. You'll be walking around the apocalypse without your shirt on in no time. Wow. One hit. I'm pretty sure I've been through this building like 5 or 6 times, but for some reason it's just like completely escaping me on which way I'm supposed to be going. I've got the potato seed. Nice. Oh, man. Oh.
What's up?
What's up? Easy, how you doing? I guess the problem is just when you involve Ohio in something. That's pretty bad. They aren't Bethesda servers, so no idea what's really happening. You shouldn't be surprised if it's Bethesda's fault altogether. Isn't this the same server group that's gone down like 5 times in the last, I don't know how long? Like X was actually out a little while ago too? We need to go hunting for some boars to get leather to fix up things like boots and bags. Oh yeah. Thankfully in all of our looking for the stuff in the things, we have found plenty of boots, plenty of bags, and everything else like that, but at some point that's going to dry up. Don't do it! This bat is so gonna break at an inopportune time. Ed, could you please have a repair kit in your pocket? I know it's probably not part of your loot table, but could you just sprout one anyway? Found some firefighter gear. Now I don't know where I quick stacked it. Oh no. Yes, it's the same servers. Oh, see, that just seems to me like those servers have got some serious issues that they need to work out. They are hosting a lot of random things and they just keep breaking. I wonder what's putting so much stress on them. I mean, it couldn't be that the biggest business right now is AI data farms, so, you know, AI that actually has no practical application other than making billionaires richer and costing taxpayers lots and lots and lots in electricity bills, but one day it's going to make their lives easier. So, you know, I'm sure it has nothing to do with all of that traffic. Nothing to do with that. Dude, I just keep finding the nasty sandwiches. Can I have a nice, good sandwich? I guess some corn will do. Hello? My bat is already broken, I can tell. I actually need that, so... Question. Is this worth a sell? Not really. I can make that. Scrap that. Scrap that, scrap that. Scrap that. AWS servers hosts a stupid amount of internet, so it's not good that they keep going down. PG and J sandwich minus the PB. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I just had a bit of leftover turkey and some leftover stuffing, and leftover gravy. Suffice it to say, I'm already getting tired of turkey. Please don't break. I see no health left on here. The janitor should definitely have the ability to give me a repair kit. I doubt very seriously I'm going to find one in here, though. Maybe I can get a... I was gonna try and be stealthy. Oh, you are a feral. Level 30. Ugh. And I haven't had a chance to do therapy at all this week, and I feel like I haven't had a chance to do therapy at all this week. So, definitely gonna have to make up for it this week. Sadly, they did not actually put a, like a date on when she would be instituted. Don't pay attention to where I'm grabbing all that. The zombie turned his head and coughed. So we don't know when the Prime is going to come out. This is just, I think, the first teaser for her. Awesome. Now where do I go? I'm supposed to go down? I guess I'm supposed to go down here. Hi, Ed. You know what? Yeah, I don't really need that. I'm trying to hold on to the food because since I haven't started my farm, I'm actually kind of low on food. Okay. Yeah, we're going the right way. Yeah, sure. I don't mind going back down again. Oh, this is the bad area. This is the bad area, guys. And I'm down here without my melee weapon. I'm gonna have to get rid of the seeds. Don't really want to get rid of the poop, though. Some valuable stuff there. Guess I'll get rid of that. Damage mitigation. Sacrificing water that I cannot sacrifice right now, so... Okay, that was creepy. Repair kit. Thank you. Ah, nice. Good timing. Laundromat. Everything is looking better, guys. That's all fine. It's good. It's chill. So, what did everybody else do? I know not everybody was celebrating Thanksgiving, but what did everybody else do for this week? I do appreciate you guys being patient. Basically had a week off, though I won't say it was a week off, but it was definitely a week off of doing all of this stuff, you know. Wakey, wakey. Spilt garbage. Am I holding on a cloth? Yes, I am. Dude, it is still cold in this room. I was figuring my, heater and my PC would keep the room warm, but it's really not doing it. It might just be because I'm cold. You know, once your feet get cold, you just really cannot warm up until the feet warm up, that type of thing. I don't know. Are you the only feral, though? Oh. Damn. Just broke that whole thing. Are you actually dead? He might actually be dead, guys. A level 83 pistol. I can combine it with my pistol, though. Cap is empty. He exploded himself. Wakey wakey, donuts and bakey? Donuts. Donuts sound good. Donuts do sound good. Okay, now there's a bit of a problem. I haven't even gotten to the loot. And I have no room in my pocket. Okay. We've got the return to trader, so I can just run back to my vehicle and drop some stuff off. As soon as I figure out how to get to my vehicle. Hi, Bush. How are you doing? Okay. Shotgun parts. I just keep finding the shotgun parts. Drop that. Sure. Let's actually take the vehicle around the side of the building, too. Same as usual, absolutely nothing. Played some simple games, reading some more books you're currently reading. I did try and make some more of the loofahs that I processed. I did try and turn some of those into crafts. And they turned out okay by the time I got finished with them. I just have, like, this one glaring problem. I have a hard time seeing the stuff that I'm working on. So what I'll probably wind up doing is, instead of trying to craft those into something sellable this year for some of the people that are local, what I'll probably do is continue to work on them throughout the year and sell them next year. And the crop that I get next year, I'll work on for the following year. Make it a little bit easier. So I won't feel rushed, because I really don't like the idea of adding more stuff to my to-do list during the holidays. Somehow or another, I always do that. Do you guys do that? Just add an enormous amount of BS to your to-do list during the holidays, and then it's like, I should not have done that. What is this? Ranger outfit. Medium armor. Okay. Alright. Ammo stuff. Stuff and things. Things and stuff. It's a better bow, though. Sadly, not one I can craft. But it is a better bow. So what kind of updates are the AWS servers having to do? Is this like a servers are going down, or servers are updating, or servers are maxed, or what is going on? So I remember, I don't know what day it was, X going down, quite a few other apps, and then it wasn't like 2 days later, other apps had gone down. It's just been like a endless process of apps going down. I wonder if I can find another place for that. Put that back. Oh, that'll work. Chaplain, how you doing? How's your stuff? How's your things? AK barrel. Okay, was that everything? Looks like everything. Alright. Working on your computer, so you might be in and out. How you been? Well, I've been doing okay. It was a long week. It was exhausting. It was nice seeing family, though. I got some possibly not so good news this morning, but I'm waiting for more information before, you know, I say anything, or if I say anything, that kind of thing. We'll see what happens. But for the most part, the week was good. It was just exhausting. I think next year I need to figure out how to mitigate some of that exhaustion. Probably by remembering, you know, that my birthday falls very close to Thanksgiving, and not using that as an excuse to basically just take a week off. I probably need to start cleaning around my birthday instead of waiting until the weekend before. That was kind of silly. But dude, I got that area, you know, I don't know if anybody else has this. I've got an area underneath our refrigerator, not a refrigerator, but our TV. I don't know how I got those two mixed up. That's just got like wires and cords and all kinds of stuff like that. That's just kind of doesn't look great because of the 5,000 boxes we had back when our internet was going in and out, and we were constantly getting new boxes and rewiring things. Just like the hole underneath where the TV was, I didn't want to touch it. I finally cleaned it out. I don't want to tell you how nasty the rag was from wiping down that area, but it looks so much better now. I'm like, why did I wait so long?
Good morning. I bet your nose is so high in the air you could drown in a rainstorm. I'd be proud too. Good job.
Okay. I'll take that. I probably should have taken the blueberry pie, but, you know. Saw your resignation video. Sorry it didn't work out, but honestly, you're better without it. You do you. Hope your news gets better and you get to relax some. I kind of saw the writing on the wall anyway. Here, let me actually do this. Because I didn't explain why I did what I did when I did it. It was just something that kind of bothered me, and it got underneath my skin so much that I had to do something about it. And I was just like, I'll record the video. Just because I record the video doesn't mean I have to post it. Just because I post the video doesn't mean I have to release it. Just because I make the thumbnail doesn't mean I have to actually release it. Just because I set it to go up tomorrow doesn't mean I actually have to let it go up tomorrow, and then finally I just let it go. There was... I know you guys all know about blood moons. The blood moons had just come out, and it hasn't been going so well, and a lot of content creators haven't really been covering it. None of the main 7 Days to Die content creators have covered it at all because it's being advertised to the wrong crowd. It just is. But there was a push from somewhere that I won't discuss because I'm apparently beholden not to say very much. But there was a push to people to promote this game, even though we all knew it was to the wrong crowd and nobody was interested in doing it, but there were financial incentives to promote said game. And then a new promotion came up, and it was a free cosmetic for that game as long as people subscribe 2 times to a content creator. Well, the problem is there's like 300 people playing it at max when it first launched, which means not very many people are playing it. So you're asking content creators of a survival game to promote a Dead by Daylight 4-player shooter game to people who are not actually interested in it, to ask them to subscribe to a game they're not interested in playing, to subscribe to them for a skin to a game they're not playing. And I just said, this is a bad idea. I said that on X whenever they put that out. I said, this is a bad idea, and I'm tired of giving you guys constructive criticism, so I'm just not. Well, that caused a problem. Hold on, I'm trying to see your name. Clerk, how you doing? I do apologize. Your name and my background are exactly the same color. It's fine, you don't have to change it. I just needed to be able to see it one time. So whenever I said that, there was a notification put up somewhere about the code of conduct for content creators on how they're supposed to act, and one of those being you have to put up content for the game recently. It's like you're not supposed to go 6 months or a year without playing it. Now, if there's medical problems or whatever, you might get a pass on it. And I was like, okay, that makes sense because, no offense, there were content creators that they gave free access to being content creators, not because they were content creators of this game, but just because they had big audiences. No offense to Ensign or Psycho or any of them. They were not 7 Days to Die content creators, but they were given access. They were given content creator status because of the size of their channel. And because they applied. Or asked to. I don't know how that happened. But they had not made content on that game since that launch of 1.0. So it's been 2 years, or however long it's been, since they made content. And it makes sense to get rid of people who are not actually interested in the content, to not promote the game anymore and to not give them these options. But I didn't hear anything about those types of folks being booted from the system. The only time this code of conduct kept coming up was whenever there was a post made on X and there was some negative feedback from a couple of content creators. I was one of them, Just Rob was another, and there was at least one other person. Whenever they made a post on it, these codes of conduct were listed in a place I can't talk about, and it became very obvious that they were watching our posts. And I said so in the place that I can't name, that I don't mean to sound paranoid, but it seems like you guys are upset because people are posting their opinion. And if that's the case, then I want to be taken off of your program. And they were like, no, this isn't about that. It's about whether or not people have made recent posts. And these other rules that we put on this thing that in a place that I shall not name. So I read the writing on the wall. It was basically yet another threat. We're going to boot you from this if you don't stop these posts. And it's like, I didn't even say anything mean. I just said this was a bad idea. And I read the other posts. Just Rob gave them a long list of ideas on how to change this and make the things better. But it wasn't because he said the thing smashed with a good idea. It was, you said something against it, so you're bad. It was that. And it was this, it's been a long list of those. There's been several times that I haven't even talked about that I've gotten into a discussion with people in this place that I can't name about things that I did not agree with that the company was doing, namely the thing that I've talked about hundreds of times already, the DLC. It was bad. It was bad optics. It was a bad offer. It was bad all the way around. They cut content specifically from the game and sold it back to people, and I hated the idea, and I was not going to promote it. And they kept asking us to promote that content, so I got into an argument with somebody in the Discord about it. And another code of conduct got put up right after that discussion. So I was like, I can't handle this. You guys are not even listening. You're not trying. You're not anything. And the new launch of the new game came out and it happened all over again. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I can't even wait until the next 2.5 whatever comes out. I'm done. I can't even bring myself to care. It was useless. So that's the reason why I did the video when I did. And oddly enough, it's like, right after I did that, they kicked other people out. It was like, well, if she left, you guys can go too. Like, okay, well, whatever. I did not even pick up another mission, did I? I came out here to look for something. I got stuck talking. I do apologize, guys. Hang on. I came out here for, specifically, that. Is there anything else? These are worth money. I'm not doing a shotgun. Just not doing it. I'll put the schematics over there. And I'll sell that. Anyway, so the whole thing felt skeevy to me, and it was getting worse.
Morning. What can I get you? A gearhead like me gets an engine permit.
Sorry, what'd you say, dude? Level 52. Shotgun stock. I don't need that either. I don't need that. Would you care for these useless books? And that. Alright, it's been a couple of days. Do you have anything else that I need? You're in a unique place. You play 7 days and games by like Dead by Daylight, and you still don't like the feel of Blood Moons. Looks chunky as all get out. If it survives, hopefully they'll be tightened up. The logica has a lot to do with it. At this point, the fun pimps just need to keep their noses out of it and write the checks until it's done. Yeah. That was basically what everybody was saying. The problem with... Not the only problem. Obviously, it launched with some issues and it needs a lot of polishing, but the biggest issue is the name of the fun pimps, and 7 days is on that game. That's the biggest problem. It comes with so much baggage. The biggest one being...
have some more of those in the back room if you're interested.
I'm not interested in your back room, Bob. I'm sorry, we've had this discussion. The biggest issue... I guess I probably should go ahead and get the rant out of the way. The biggest issue with a game like Blood Moons is it's a live service game. Like all over other live service models, this model is already overdone. So you've got that one thing going against it. The name of 7 days is already on it, and 7 days has got a long history of never being complete. Back when it first launched, I still hear now, this many years later, I still hear now, content creators talking about the game as it was when it was really bad. And they're like, we played it for a day and it was crap and we haven't touched it since. That is from big content creators now, talking about the old version of the game. People like Asmongold and stuff like that, they remember the earlier version of the game. So 7 days has already got a tarnished reputation because of how the game launched. The game's come a long way. Some people liked it when it launched. They liked how it developed over time, but it took so long that the game completely passed out of knowledge for most people who play games in general. It's already been 12 years or however long it's been since the game launched originally, and most content creators that are bigger named that would push the game have walked past it. The only big name that has touched the game in however many years is Markiplier, and that's because he played the original one, and he kind of sort of enjoyed it, but it was like, it was a novelty, and his little group played it, but it wasn't even enough then to actually pick the game up. It's just because the game went gold. So they have that, and then they have the years and years and years of this negativity that has stretched from version to version to version that is stringed along with that name, and then you add in the 1.0 and 2.0 release negativity that came along with it, and you add that to that name, and then you add on top of it the toxicity that is every forum they have, every time they start interacting with people, every time they do a dev stream and have a conversation, and they blatantly ignore the community every single time. Every single one of their posts on X, and I could have actually brought it up inside that video, if you drop down all of the boxes and look at all of the comments, every single comment, every single post that they make, every single one is asking, when is third person coming out? Have you got a release date on 2.5? Have you figured out when you're going to fix consoles? Because consoles people, they got the crap version of it and they never fixed it. They got the one version of it and it's just gone. Consoles don't know anything else. They're left in the dark again. So they got that boost of income, and then they left them just sitting there. They are not answering any of the questions that the people of the consoles have, like, can we roll back versions? Are we going to get mods? When are you going to fix the FPS? Are you going to fix our game from dying? Can we keep our old maps? They're not answering any of those questions. All of that crap and negativity and toxicity is on the title of 7 Days to Die and the Fun Pimps. And they took all of that crap and pinned it on that new game. It didn't have a chance. It never had a chance to launch. They're going to write this off as a loss on their taxes and it'd be done. And aside from all of that, they also have to compete with the fact that whenever you're starting out, okay, you play Dead by Daylight, I play Outlast Trials, I play Fallout 76, who else plays online games that require something that, some of you play WoW, some of you play other games that are online games. What is the main thing you worry about whenever it comes to being able to play that game? Especially now, in the year of our Lord 2025, what is the biggest problem that people have with online gaming? Will it work today? That's one. What about whether or not the servers will stay open? How many games in the last 2 years have been shut down right after launch? They just shut the servers down so people put money into the game, bought skins, purchased the game, everything, and then just the servers shut down. Games that had been around for a while, people put hundreds of dollars into, which is not a good idea, but people do it. They bought skins, they bought this, they spent time doing this, they built up characters, they built up a community, and now the servers are just gone. Because they didn't do anything, they weren't making money, and the games nowadays, they don't have to keep the servers open. It doesn't matter how long ago you bought the game, there's no obligation to keep it open. If the game is not profitable, why would they keep the servers open? How much am I going to have to shell out just to enjoy the game? Yeah. You have zero plans to ever buy the spinoff. How long is this game going to be around? Yeah, exactly. The whole do not kill games thing launched because of stuff like that. At least having the ability to play in some form of offline version. If 7 Days, for some reason or another, stops being viable as an online game, you still have the option to play it at home. Single player. In whatever form they leave it in. But it's still there. Blood Moons won't. It's an online game. And they do have a PvE version, but it's still online. You still have to climb into servers to play it, and if 7 Days can't even keep their direction over the course of this many years on a single game, and they're doing a live service game, who's going to say that the people who are in charge of it now are going to keep their focus? And if for some reason the management shifts at all, like one person leaves or another person comes in, that the direction's not going to shift again, 7 Days having such a wobbly past, a different vibe, they went from sandbox, open world, yada yada yada, to some sort of magical RPG with snow fairies. What's going to happen with Blood Moons? So, I'm sorry to say, but that game had no chance. And Illogica is going to have to work so hard to overcome the stigma that is 7 Days. Snow fairies? Yes, snow fairies. They give you your badges. Exactly. Exactly. So, that's my entire rant on that, and if they do actually get over this and find their niche, find their crowd or whatever, it would be having worked against everything that launched them. They should have found another publisher, found another world, made up their own, something they would have had less resistance than this. Badges? We don't need no stinking badges? Yeah, exactly. Online was a terrible way to go in the long run. Owning your own cartridges, it just means you have the most part. It's still playable, not a total deal, waste of money. Yeah. I have an issue getting myself involved in any online games because I wonder how long those games are going to continue to be, well, viable. Like, I play Outlast Trials, and it is a very niche game, mind you. It is gore heavy. It is conspiracy full. It is all kinds of stuff. It is a select few people who actually enjoy playing that game. And they have an entire crew writing on this game working. How long is it actually going to be viable for them to continue working on it and providing new content for it? I don't know. It might only be for a few years, and maybe this will be one of the few companies that says, we started it this year, and once in world we reach this year, the servers are down, the story is done. It would be the first one that ever did that, and it would probably make sense, especially for this genre. But Fallout 76, if you buy Fallout first, if you buy skins, if you buy decorations, if you get all of these things and then suddenly they just shut down the servers, you just lost everything. All of that work, all that time you put into it, it's just gone. Online gaming is already kind of dying, in a way. You have to have a good reputation. You have to show up for the work. And you have to have a good product on launch. And you can't have any of those predatory practices when it launches, because as soon as people see it now, they recognize it and they will leave. The first thing they did was they launched the game too high. They already had cosmetics in place. They've already launched their first cosmetics, and it's like, this is the business model you're going after. I see why 7 Days backed you. They want some money off of their IP, so they sold you this in hopes of making more money off of it. That's the whole reason they do the Twitch thing now, and why the game now has skins, and why we are stuck with these awful costumes. It's the business model now, so I don't see that game going anywhere, and them forcing people to try it out who are not interested in the model itself is actually ridiculous.
Good to see you're still kicking. What can I get you?
I wish to go to the booby trap.
Jobs. You must be double backbone to take this job.
I still wonder what you mean by that, dude. Still wondering what you mean there, sir. Anyway, that's my rant. It doesn't really mean anything. It didn't mean anything for the company, so it does not matter. And as far as Illogica goes, I hope they figure their niche out and uncouple their business practice from the fun pimps as quickly as possible. Because it's obvious where that company is going. And I think there's only a chance, however slight it might be, there is still a chance for Illogica to be able to do something, just because, well, I mean, they actually paid IZ Prebuilt to do a discussion on their game. So, I mean, that means something. Not sure exactly what that means, but it means something. Parts. And you want to think about how much, swallowing your own pride was required in order to do that. So, I guess that means Illogica is like, you know what? If we can convert the biggest critic, we might have a chance. Who knows? No. I think I'll hold on to this bat to help repair this one whenever I get back to base. Weapons. I should take these.
You look thirsty. Why don't you get hydrated?
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I feel like this might tank Illogica if something doesn't turn around. I feel for them on that part. Yeah, I feel bad because they... Honestly, whenever I watched their dev stream that I watched, aside from all that us and we's that the fun pimps kept talking about how we did this and I did this and we're doing this, that, aside from all of those, listening to Illogica talk about the game and their long thinking, if that's not really a phrase for it, but basically they spent a lot more time thinking about how their zombies were going to work than the fun pimps ever did. So, for whatever that means, you know, I don't want that. So, I mean, that's something, and I hope they do figure it out. I feel bad because they obviously spent a lot of time working on all of this. Now, the game is still bare bones, but obviously, if it's going to be a game that's in the progress of you ship the bare bones thing and then listen to feedback before you start implementing things that people aren't going to like. But, I don't know. I still think it was shipped to the wrong people. What gets me is I had so much feedback on what people like by observing the mods. They had a full 180 away from what people were actually playing and enjoying. We all need badges, never seen up. I'm going to be buying Vane soon, but mostly waiting for December 13th. Hightail, pre-orders go live. Access starts in January 13th. I don't know what game that is. Digital products bought for real money is a terrible investment. It really is. Desperation? Yes. I will admit I do think about that kind of thing for Fallout. I've put months of grind into it and spent all on Fallout first. Yeah, see, I can't... I was doing that for a while and then I realized there was a lot of convenience to be had out of doing that. And that was just causing me to want to do it more. And I don't know, I've just got this aversion to paying for things monthly. It's like, I will always invest in something that I only have to buy one time. If I have to pay for it over the course of a year or over the course of several months, or if I have to pay for it every single month in order to use it, I will contemplate on it to the point where I just won't buy it. I just won't do it. I can't do it. I just absolutely hate subscription models with a passion. And I want to be able to invest in companies for companies to be able to do things, but it's like, I don't want to subscribe to this thing because, first off, I can't afford to. Secondly, everybody wants one. Everybody has a handout for a subscription, and there's only so many people with so much income and so many subscriptions because everything is a subscription now. Everything. All of the things want a subscription, and people don't have the money to get all of the things. So companies are literally like shooting themselves in the foot, not offering products. It's like the editing stuff that I use. I bought the full version. And hell, I've bought the full version twice because I lost it one time when one of my PCs broke down. And this time I actually got the hard copy backup, but I was okay with purchasing it again because I had a hard copy that I could use in case the system ever went down, which is how I got my product back. If I had to pay for a subscription model and then something happened to it and I had to pay for the subscription model a second time or something like that, I don't even want to think of how many people are actually going broke on subscription models right now. And everybody's got their hand in your pocket. Everybody. Everybody wants a penny. Everybody wants £5. They'll take an arm and a leg if they can. It's not anything new. What I'm wondering is if Logica adds all this new stuff to the game and it still flatlines, will the fun pimps just take that stuff and throw it into 7 days as new content? Yes, they will. Any skins that are created for that game, they will put it in 7 days. Any new techniques, they will stick it into 7 days. Any interesting content that gets used in that game that people talk about they like, they will absorb it into their company. They definitely will. If the fun pimps aren't anything, they are definitely opportunists. Whenever they see something that's making money, they will get it. That's the reason why Twitch has their thing on here too, is because somebody else made a mod that they were making money off that worked several different games, and the fun pimps were like, we see what you did there, but since it's our game, we're going to do it. Now it's our money. You see that thing that you did inside your mod? The thing that you figured out how to do? We're going to put that in our base game and we're going to make money off of it. That's how they do. Guns and zombies. Yeah, they say that the guns that they have in that game won't come into this one. But honestly, the guns and the zombies are not even the problem with this game. You can throw as many guns into this game as you want to. That won't be the problem. It might be interesting to see the new guns once. To play with the new guns once. That's not the problem with this game. You don't mind subscriptions, you hate cash shops. That's why MMO genre is so dead. Too many fees to play with huge cash shops and pay to win. At least with a subscription, the income is regular, which equals regular content. That's why World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV are going today, to be honest. I don't like subscriptions, and here's why. As a content creator, this is why I don't like it. Before I learned how to make my own clips, there was a program that I was using, something Ladder. I've already forgotten. I could put my video in there and make the clip, and it would export it for me so that I could upload it where I wanted to. I had a very small selection of the things that I could do with my videos in order to turn it into what I wanted to turn it into, and in order to get a larger selection of the things that I wanted to use, I had to pay monthly. The art software that I was using to make my shirts at one point had a monthly subscription. The Restream that I use right now, in order to stream to more than 2 places, they have a monthly subscription if you want to subscribe to more than that. X, which is where I advertise some of my stuff, that's another subscription. Rumble for Prime, that's another subscription. YouTube Prime, that's another subscription. And that's just having to do with my YouTube channel. That has nothing to do with Netflix, any videos that I watch, anything like that. All of those. And it's not like $1 here, $1 there. YouTube by itself is $20. That shit adds up so fast. And then when you take on top of that, I'm a gaming content creator. If every single game that I had a subscription along with it, like Fallout 76, if every single one of those had it, I don't even want to know how much of the income that I make now would already be gone. I would rather go to Walmart and work, or go to McDonald's and work, because I would literally make more money working at McDonald's. As it stands, I make uneven with what I made at McDonald's. If I had to pay for all those subscriptions, if I couldn't find workarounds and work really hard to figure out how to do those things on my own, I wouldn't make any money off of doing content at all. And that's just the content side of it. That's not even like subscriptions you would have for like banking or watching things, or they're putting subscription models into cars now. If you want to unlock the 0 to 60 in not 3 seconds or whatever, you have to pay a subscription model. DLC and cosmetics for your car. Yeah, but it's the thing people have been wanting. More weapons, more zombies. And that's the perfect placebo to get them through another 6 months of complaints without the game being finished. Yeah, they could. They could do a release of these other workstations or whatever that people have been making mods for years, which is what we're getting. They're going to implement 2 or 3 systems that are old in the game that still exist in the files. They're just going to turn them back on. And that's going to get them through until they can finish whatever other excuse that they're going to have whenever they can't finish the raiders. There probably will be more guns. Something. I don't mind subscriptions for MMOs if they're going to be constantly adding new content, but I got lucky with the Lord of the Rings Online picking up a lifetime subscription as a one-off payment 17 years ago, so I haven't had to pay a monthly since then and still get all the benefits. See, that's actually not bad. The fact that they actually add a lifetime thing, if all of them did, like if Fallout 76 said here's a lifetime payment, you have Fallout first from now until whenever, I'd be like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that as a one-time fee. For sure. You know raiders are going to be a nightmare. Step out of your house, headshot, dead. Step out of your POI, headshot, dead. Start up your game. Yes, it probably will be, because there will be aimbots. Because despite all of this time, they probably still haven't figured out a way of fixing that. Which is probably the reason why they haven't launched it. It's not like they didn't used to have NPCs in the game originally anyway. The coding and stuff still exists for them. The problem is there's no way they can implement them in a way that feels organic. Not that the rest of the game feels organic anyway. Honestly, let's just be real. After playing Vane and coming back to this game, or playing Project Zomboid and coming back to this game, hell, playing Surrounded, which is more of a... I don't know, I would liken it to DayZ. But playing those games and then coming back to 7 Days makes me realize even harder how shallow this game has become. Because I can watch people play earlier versions of this game and it feels more real. And then to see the way it is and to play those games and come back to this game, it's like, there is so much potential and it is heartbreaking. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Hello? You gonna come through the door? Oh, you guys are both ferals. You know, I should really look into getting myself a better weapon. Slow him down! Slow him down! Sorry, Ed. I didn't mean to kneecap you, dude. And hell, there are actually games out there. What game is it that just launched not long ago that was like a big hit or something like that? Was it Helldivers? They actually spent time on lessening the size of their file and they did it by half, and it's like, wait, so you mean a gaming company actually spent time optimizing? Dude. When was the last time that happened? That's just unheard of, man. Unheard of. What are they thinking? They can't do that. It's crazy. Ed's gotten these issues and you did that to him? Yeah, I know. I know. Modded NPCs are about the best I hope for, and that's still rough. Rebirth has some better NPCs and raiders, and that's still bad. Yeah, even like whenever you first played, what was it, Darkness Falls, and they had the raiders, not the raiders, but the NPCs that would sit inside the trader compound and shoot the crap out of you if you were standing between them and a zombie. It sucked, but it was kind of hilarious. It definitely added to, like, sorry, your life does not mean anything so long as we get the zombie that's back behind you, because we're being hired to take care of this dude, not you. Move, mortal. It was kind of funny in that way. So, I mean, do I think that they're going to be able to implement anything stronger than that? Probably not, because with as much bit rate and stuff and FPS that you lose when playing this game, just because, excuse you, just because zombies are spawning in or something like that, when you have to go in and add in a whole new AI to run a different type of creature that is going to be, basically it's like, take all of the AI and all of the complication, all the spawning in and everything that goes along with that, duplicating that, moving the decimals around and stuff like that and having that run alongside of it. I don't think the problem is necessarily them not being able to figure out how to run the AI. I think the problem is they can't do it efficiently. There's too many things already going on in the game. They would have to optimize, and they have already said they're not going to do it. They're not worried about it. So get a better PC, noobs. I reckon that's what they mean. Could have swore I heard someone breaking through glass. Yeah, I still hear someone. %85 actually, from 130ish to 28. What? Dude. Restarted vein, started next to the graveyard, but have 4 large planters in the backyard. Nice. Bullets do go straight? Yes, exactly. I'm worried about raiders with machine guns having cop extra sight and aim. Yes. Especially since the cops are definitely looking through buildings that they should not be able to see through. They have no clue how to properly balance and test their own games. Surrounded does zombies and raiders. Well, yes, they do. And it's odd because it's a low poly game and you wouldn't expect it to be that way. But they do. Other games can do it. No offense, but if they were to take out, I know a lot of people love the idea of being able to destruct buildings and you know, dig through the ground because we're all moles in real life. But if they took away some of that and put that extra, I don't know, computing power or whatever into the actual functionality of the game, then I think the game would probably be better. Right now, they're trying to figure out how to add an event where you can explode an entire building. They ever do something, realize I messed it up, and do a 180 and nerf it all the way back to the garbage again? Stealth mechanics, for instance. Stealth, the water situation. I had one person in the video that I made where I was talking about this whole debacle saying they didn't understand the jars. The jars were not immersive. Well, not that they weren't immersive, but that they were overpowered. And people should just stop arguing about the jars. And I was like, the jars are never about the jars. They never were about the jars specifically. The jars were like a euphemism for everything that had been taken out of the game that was immersive and been replaced with a mechanic that didn't actually make sense, had no immersion, and then was overcomplicated, then made harder, then nerfed, and then like the whole dew collector. Do you guys remember how hard it was to make a dew collector to start with? And then people complained, and then they made it easy to make, and then it's like, so wait. What you're saying is you don't want me to have these jars that I have to make inside a forge, that I have to be able to build the forge, I have to go get the materials, and I have to wait for it to smelt, though it didn't actually take all that long to smelt. But I crafted all of those myself. And I went and filled them up with water, and I cooked them, which also took time. But instead, I have to make this dew collector that you made exceptionally hard to find this one part for, everybody complained about. Now you can just make it with random things. And this thing sits in the middle of my yard collecting dew and creating jars out of thin air. And I can make as many of those as you want to. And they're like, but it raises the heat map, so you're going to call in screamers. It's like, okay, you just made that really complicated instead of just giving us the jars. What is the difference? What? The screamers don't like hearing you pour water? Does it make them have to pee? I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh my god, it makes my brain hurt. There's gonna be nothing but ferals in here, huh? Something tells me I should have brought more ammo. Not that I had more ammo. There is still somebody else in here. Okay, I can't probe you? Oh, he wasn't dead yet. He was the one. Okay. If it wasn't for you, I probably would have passed on Surrounded. Surrounded is like a hidden gem I don't think enough people are giving it credit for because it looks kind of cartoony. You're like, how on earth could a cartoony game feel in any way realistic? How could it possibly be fun? But it is legitimately fun. It's like, have you ever played DayZ but wanted more crafting, the ability to actually spawn where you wanted to, be able to play offline the way you want to, but also potentially in the future play multiplayer and maybe do some PvP but have like this big world? Dude, honestly, it fixed DayZ for me. DayZ needed a lot of work, and for a long time DayZ just kind of sat there. Now they're working on it again, but it's still like a completely online game, whereas Surrounded is not an online game. Therefore, you can just play however you want to, and you don't have to worry about spawning halfway across the map and having to run for 3 hours to get killed again while you're picking your stuff up. Not that I ever experienced that. Not that I ever experienced being held up by randos who stuck an explosive in my pocket and walked away laughing because I was trying to figure out why a whitelisted server had been taken down. I just had a question, that was it.
Hey, buddy. You look thirsty. Why don't you get hydrated?
Thank you. And now zombies being able to crawl through any space but active humans can't, rolls eyes. Yeah, and they're still not going to give us that. They're like, here, have third person. Screw you on climbing prone. Shooting prone. It's a legitimate technique you're not allowed to use. I'll eat one of those right now. Hello? And yet zombies can squeeze into a 1 block gap. A 2-high zombie. And what kills me is between one version and the next version, they took away an animation. How long did it take for them to work on the animation of making a zombie crawl? And then took it back away. It was the creepiest thing. Hi, Ed. I'm sorry. Was I not paying attention to you? And while I was not okay with zombies crawling through a 1 block gap, the fact that they crawled like they did led to some very creepy instances, and then they just took it back away. It's like, but why did you do that? Someone animated that. How long did that take? And y'all just put it in and then took it right back out. Which doesn't even make sense. Doesn't even make sense, dude. Like, I'm glad they took the crawling out. It did make sense. Now they feel more humanoid, which is scarier, and I'm like... I'm sorry, what? Oh, that's gonna go outside, huh? Zeusy boy, how you doing? How are things down under? I do apologize. I'm venting. I'm having a day. We're talking 7 days and doing a whole lot of crap talk, basically. I recently announced that I dropped out of their creator group cult thing that they had going on, and we were having those discussions. Which probably have already gone on too long, but it's kind of therapeutic, I guess. Man, I'm stuck. I'm gonna wind up with a full-on infection before I get out of here. I guess we wait. Helldivers cooked on their install file. They still need to spread the word to the rest of the gaming devs. No kidding. Especially since so many game devs out there are just like, oh, we'll push whatever crap comes out and we're not going to worry about updating anything. We're not going to optimize anything. Get a better graphics card. It's like, no, why wouldn't you even try? And as far as this game goes, they're like, we're actively not worried about optimizing anything until the final version comes out, but 2030, you know, it'll get here when it gets here. As long as they can get it to run on their PCs, they're not worried about it. Good luck on the consoles that we just shipped again. Yeah, but if they did, then they couldn't say it's the only game of its type with a zombie apocalypse. The whole you can dig around and break anything thing is just like, it's not that novel with the zombie apocalypse, to be honest with you. Nobody's making a game like us thing is only there for fluffing their ego. Okay, so you can break and mine through and disassemble every single thing in the game if you wanted to. How many people actually do that? I mean, I will at least once a server collapse an entire building and it's satisfying, but ultimately the zombies running well and the zombie apocalypse feeling like a zombie apocalypse instead of a fantasy realm with, you know, a fairy snow zombie thing are... That seems a bit more important to me, especially after trying out Vane and Surrounded and stuff like that. Those things hit something that 7 Days hasn't hit since I first started playing. The ability to collapse a building does not mean anything if you can't get past the center part of the game. I mean, honestly, the whole book thing is kind of killing it for me. Ooh, are they done? I'm still infected, though. Now zombies being allowed to crawl through tiny places, but a human can't. Yeah. That messes me up. It's not even really a dew collector. Dew collectors don't generate heat, and it doesn't even collect rain when it rains, and it didn't play for very long. Exactly. A rain collector makes more sense, and they could have easily made it complicated, realistically complicated, with rain catchment systems. A dew collector in the desert, because that's what you would use, because it doesn't rain that often, regardless to whether or not that storm just went by. And then you would have to melt snow whenever you got to the winter biome, and good luck whenever you get to the wasteland, because snow, water's irradiated or something. They could have actually made it immersive, and they did not. Turn around? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh. Probably in the game. I just turned around like something was sitting behind me. You make me paranoid there, Chaplain. You disabled screamers altogether. Haven't played 7 days in nearly 2 months now. I gave up on the game. I watch people play it like Liz and Woodle, and if I ever go back, but I personally am done with the game. Think it's Liz's chat being a bit behind? Yeah, it's a bit behind. TSG, how you doing? It makes no sense that zombies can crawl through a one block, but you can't. Yeah, exactly. That was simply so they could try yet again to do jump scares on people, because they like watching people jump scare. Honestly, they probably should have just made like a horror game or something like that and been done with it if that's what they wanted. Pretty similar, to be honest. I've not played since Vanilla 1.0, been playing Rebirth, and I think it's the time we fired that save up back in June. Were you getting access to previews or something being part of that? Yeah, I got early access. The creators for the game get early access for the new versions of it. They also got, but everybody else was doing the DLCs and everything, the content creators who opted into it got free DLC. Take that and do with what you will on whether or not they advertised for you and did not tell you that they got it for free. That was one of my issues, was DLC is overpriced and it's content you took from the game and sold back to people. I don't agree with this. I'm not going to advertise it to people, but other content creators were getting this for free and showing it off to people like it was a good deal and that they didn't get it for free and it wasn't just ripped from the game. I'm not going to get into that. And it's also something you're supposed to do as a content creator. If you get content for free and you're advertising it, you actually have to state that in your video, and I don't know how many people did. They're supposed to do that. It's basically a paid advertisement, same as the people who are now currently advertising for Blood Moons and getting paid for it. If they didn't actually disclose that they were being paid to do so, that is actually against the law. I actually put that information in the place where I cannot talk about, that these things were supposed to have been disclosed and probably were not because people didn't realize it. That was yet another thing that got me into trouble. You went back to Alpha 18 after trying 2.1. Played until Vane full release, then quit. I'll be waiting until this month to pick it back up. I've been saving money for Hightail. What is that game anyway? You keep mentioning it. I'm specifically not ever pre-ordering a game, so I will not be part of that group, but I'm just interested in this game that you are very excited about. Playing the last build for 1.0 since I can't even run it on my computer anymore. Kind of hope people will go back to what mod development has as well. Yes, that is another thing that is a problem too. The whole, they're not optimizing, you can't play it anyway. The people who got the console version, apparently there's a whole lot of people who have the console version that it doesn't even run. Or during Horde Nights, it's too pixelated. There was one version, was it 19? I think it was version 19 when it first came out. This was before I ever became part of the creator program. And every time the wind blew through the trees, my frame rate would drop to 3. So, I mean, optimization really hasn't been done. They're just optimizing it to the state that it was in before. The problem is it's still not really optimized. Okay, where are these zombies hiding? This isn't one of those things where you're going to wait till I get close and then spawn them in, is it? No, there you are. And that whole thing. The killing of the stealth model, it kind of pisses me off. It's not just that, but there was also this whole people who don't do content in a certain genre may not know this, but there's like this whole underweb that happens whenever it comes to content creation for a specific game. And certain content creators have like a bigger voice than others, obviously because they have a bigger channel. For some reason, there was this big push by certain content creators that certain playstyles were not okay because they were boring to watch, and thereby making their content more important and less other playstyles being important, to the point where those content creators' viewers would go to other channels that were smaller and say, stop playing this way, it's not fun to watch. Stealth was one of those. I have actually been fussed at for having stealth an entire area because my character was low level and I was in a high level area. If that rings again, I'm probably going to have to pause and go check on that. Anyway, that whole thing happened, and of course the modes in which those people played. For instance, I'm gonna be vague, you guys will know who I'm talking about. If you know, you know. There was a push for the play cycle of the game to go down to 40 hours. Instead of people playing to day 100 or something like that, because your character gets maxed out at this particular point, and at this particular point you're almost god status, why keep playing or whatever. So these particular content creators would kill off their character or move on to another playthrough pretty quickly. They wouldn't play the later game. And it became where if you were a content creator who played the later game, people did not watch and people fussed and left, and those content creators would make shady statements about the people who play those types of games and stuff like that. So when that happened, that actually shaped how the Fun Pimps started seeing their own game. At one point, the Fun Pimps actually said they expected one playthrough of a character to only last about 40 hours. Under normal circumstances, that's to day 40. So they expected you to go from noob to god tier or end game in 40 days. And then they started pushing the game in that direction. And then for some reason, they stayed in there, but they stretched out the middle game to where it took you till day 40 to get to top tier, but then gave you nothing to do afterwards, if you, for some reason or another, decided to play the one game longer than that. And even worse, typically your map will corrupt around that day too. They didn't really see a reason why map fidelity should last longer than that, because no game should last longer than that. So it's actually shaped a lot of the development, thinking that the game should only last this long, when people who build and survive and stuff like that actually want to see the later game. That's kind of some of the thing that they want to see, they want to do, they want to experience. It's not actually a part of this game's model, I guess you could say. Where the hell am I supposed to go? Over here. I'm actually very concerned. It's an upcoming sandbox game by Hypixel, developed in 2015. Minecraft multiplayer server with funding from Riot Games. Riot purchased the studio outright in 2020. Okay. Are these content creators still around? Yes. I think their latest one, let's see, their You know, whenever missions started up, I don't forget which version it was, it started up missions from traders. These content creators basically made it to where the concept of double dipping into a POI was considered cheating, and not just cheating in your game personally when you play, but as a content creator, it's actually stealing from the people who are viewing your stuff because you're wasting their time or something like that. So even if you wanted to, for one reason or another, double dip into a POI, it was seen as not okay. Even in your own game, for whatever reason. And there are other stipulations these certain content creators have made over the game. One in particular during the big blow up that happened, I don't know if you were here around when 2.0 came out. This same content creator, I'm speaking specifically of a content creator that I will not name because he has got a huge channel that would bombard me. And it's already been done once, and I don't want it to happen again, so I won't name names. But he specifically has come out and made a video saying that everybody who is out here talking about the things that are wrong with this game, you need to get a life. That's essentially what he did. He told everybody, it's a waste of time, you shouldn't be doing this. How dare you talk about video games? Go get a life. And, okay. Freaking hate ferals. And, he outed himself as a casual player, which if you don't know what I mean by casual player, basically they play only a couple of days a week and they don't really follow the news or anything else. If you are actually following content of other players... Hold on, we got another guy. Oh, he's going to be there for a while. Okay, there he goes, hang on. A casual player is someone who plays only a couple of times a week and they really don't follow any gaming news at all. If you go out there and you're actively looking for news on gaming, if you're watching updates, if you're watching content from a specific content creator on how they play, if you're watching tips videos, chances are you're probably not a casual player. Casual players, they just play the game and, you know, occasionally do whatever. But he outed himself as a casual player, even being a huge content creator for the game. And you would figure a large content creator for a specific game who's built their brand off of said content would not out himself as a casual or call the people who have an issue with that same game out the way that he did. But he did. And even worse, the Fun Pimps basically thanked him for having done it. So it was like, I don't have the Fun Pimps on speed dial, but here's my opinion, and the next week the Fun Pimps essentially thank him. And it's like, are you sure? I mean, they may not have asked you to do that, but it was obvious that there was a little bit of mutual going on, if you know what I mean. And I don't want to... Dudes, it's completely fine with me if there is a content creator out there who is a casual gamer who just records themselves playing game and uploads the video, and then they go off and do their own life somehow or another. You know, it does not bother me that they are casual. What bothers me is that people have a hobby that they're passionate about, and they don't want a company getting so full of themselves that they lose the plot, which the Fun Pimps have, and people pointing this out are the problem, not the problem with the game, and the releases and the monetization and the predatory practices are not the problem. The fact that you care is the problem. Stop caring that they're messing up your game. What are you? Nerd? It's like, well, yes, I'm a nerd, and yeah, I care, and... okay. But now we're not supposed to talk about it, because immediately after that, not only did that happen, people started going into creator comments saying, why are you being so negative about the game? The game is still playable. Roll back your version. Play a mod. And it's like, people on consoles can't roll back their version. They can't play mods. And they just sold all of the console players a brand new version of the game. You're only speaking to a small percentage of us who are actually playing on computers. It's like, you know, I'm not going to keep talking about it because I'm going to get angry about it again. Anyway, my point is those specific content creators who are shaping the conversation, but not shaping it for the right reasons. They're shaping it because they're getting gratuities in one way or another. That's frustrating, because instead of talking about the issues or talking about a problem or woohoo, pole dancing, okay, instead of talking about the problems or trying to assist or whatever, it's more like, instead of assisting in, you know, fixing this game that was a zombie apocalypse open world survival thing, let's make it more linear, add magical creatures and magical armor, and not talk about the problem. How about you stop talking about the problem? And as a creator, you're not allowed to talk about the problem either. It's like, I don't like other content creators telling me how to do my content either. And there's a lot of content creators out there that feel the same. But they shape the way that the game is going because of their interactions in this way. If you have a major content creator come out and say, stop talking about the problem, then the fun pimps don't actually get the message that the game is dying. They just think that everything is fine. They don't get the message that people want stealth. They just think because this one content creator and all of his lackeys talk about stealth being boring, that they need to get rid of it. And it's like, no, they're not the only people playing the game. And as a matter of fact, that content creator outed himself as a casual. He's not a real gamer. But he's shaping your game. Are you making the game for casuals? Okay. I mean, casuals play a lot of games, but are you making the game for the casuals is the difference. Dude, what are you doing? He's slapping that all on the floor. He just had to go over there and slap that guy. There was something in that cat. That is so not immersive. Do you know those, like, early 90s, maybe, shows where they would show, somebody getting beat up and then tossed, and then in the cutscene it's like a dummy that gets thrown and you know it's a dummy, it's obvious that it's a dummy, it's that kind of look. Blech! Oh my gosh, you guys. I am out of ammo, the other kind of ammo. So, anyway. Ugh. Lady, I'm gonna have to ask you to stop your things. Okay, finally, that's all of them. Riot canceled the game. The OG creator, Simon, pulled it back for a lot of money from Riot. He also pushed to get it released for Christmas, but couldn't get a date on pre-orders. Go live this month with a game release in January. Okay, gotcha. The game saves used to last until around day 200 before save becoming corrupted. It got worse as time went on. Yeah, because they changed so much. And of course, people can't keep their save from one thing to another thing because the fun pimps, every time they, you know, that big thing of blocks that people have now that they can design with, like this thing right here, all of these have all got different names, and as they created more, it changed the way all of the buildings were done. All the buildings had to be remade, so people's old maps can't be used. So people who have been on consoles and were able to go from whatever version of Minecraft all the way back to their previous versions, they came here, they're like, why can't I keep my save? Because it won't survive. The world will corrupt itself. We have literally, and not to bring up pain, Reaper, close your ears. We have been in a server and watched as the map reset itself as I was getting closer to it. We all had our bases. Some of us had built up bigger bases than others, and something corrupted in the save file, and people's bases had just reset. And I had gone out into the wasteland to check out Reaper's base to see whether or not it was still standing, and as I approached, the chunk reset as I was approaching. We watched everybody's bases just get erased. And there was nothing we could do about it. It was ridiculous, the amount of corruption, which is the reason why every time we do a server, we have a server death date, because the map will not last longer than that. We have tried so many times and been disappointed every single time. Maids! Of course, that's not going to be anything that I need. Let me drop all of these seeds. Mm. The sandbox game of the devs refuse to treat it as a sandbox. Content creators becoming propaganda manipulators. Yeah, basically. I don't think there's necessarily a backdoor deal going on, like such and such called such and such, and they made the deal. I think it was, this person was like, I make money off of this game. You guys keep talking crap about the game. Stop talking about it so I can continue making money from advertisers on the game. And the devs come in and say, thank you. Now we'll quietly try to fix all of the problems, and we'll give you a nod, and that's going to be it. And it's like, that was so cringe. It was so obvious and very cringe. The whole thing. It felt nasty to me. And it's like, I can't believe you've done this. And I wanted to make a video of it, but I kept my mouth shut. I was like, they will figure it out on their own or they won't. Because if I say anything, I will be the one who's in the doghouse just because I pointed it out. It puts the lotion on its skin or it gets the hose again. Biker boots reduce melee stamina. It's not bad. 2 parts. Okay. I guess I'll take that. You got even more bad news. Now you can go to Ohio? Uh-oh. We have a lot more backups now, like a stupid amount just in case. Yes. I remember that when it was a great base eat. Yes. Chaplain, how many times did you get eaten by the planet in that server? Hey, Mike, how you doing? What is our exit? What is that? Heaviness level of life. Of course, the way out was right next to me. Right next to me. At least 3 times, but it got better. Well, I have already noticed some degrading happening with this one. The zombies are already acting dumb. They're not navigating properly. Even more than the zombies already don't navigate properly. I've already noticed some wear and tear on the server. I kind of wish there was something that you carried with your character to the next playthrough. Like if your map only lasted a certain amount of time and you had to get out of the area or something like that. If there was a reason why your map had to reset that felt immersive. And there was something you carried onto your next playthrough as a result of having finished that map. It would be interesting. It just makes it to where the later game is just kind of infuriating. Okay, let's go drop off. In this mod, this box is gonna get so full. I don't think I'll need sledgehammer parts. I might want to sell a few things out of that. This, and this needs to go to the box outside. Let me do that before I forget about it. Like spreading radiation from the wasteland, you gotta find somewhere safer? Yeah. just a reason why you would have to move from map to map in a way of feeling like you accomplished something going from map to map. It's almost like Ark, but not really because of Ark. I would hate for them to do like collect 5,000 or 6,000 different things and bring in big bad guy and move to different map thing. I don't really like that mechanic, but just something where it felt like you had a reason for having to leave the map rather than just the map won't last, so just move on. Nothing to see here. And it would also give you a way of transitioning people between, I say seasons, but it's between versions of the game. It's like, okay, when we go from 1.0 to 2.0, transition your character and have your character ready to load into the next version of the game, and it would feel like you had a reason to do so. I think the only issue is there's nothing that makes you want to go from playthrough to playthrough except that you get bored on one playthrough. You get to the end of life, your deity in your world, or the map is corrupting. Those are the two things that are going to have you move from game to game. There's not a reward for having completed a certain amount of things or done a certain amount of things. You can't clear the map of all of the bad or anything else like that. Whenever we were playing, not Rebirth, was it Purge? Anyway, you basically, you went to every single house. You cleaned the entire map and you moved on to another town, and the story was that you clean it out, and after you get to a certain amount, the big guys come in and finish cleaning it out and bring people in and get them settled in, and that would actually make sense on why we're delivering things from one thing to another thing and how we're doing it, why we're doing it, and why we even care on any of the stuff that we're doing is if there was a reason for doing it. You move from map to map, you're actually like a contractor who's supposed to be doing these things and helping to make the world a better place, or you're trying to find, you're trying to help if you decided to play the bad guy, which, I mean, if it's an open world sandbox thing and there's some sort of storyline you could choose to engage with or not, you should be able to play the bad guy. And it offers you another way to play the game, or maybe you could play like in that gray area and play for a different faction or play both sides of it or anything, you know, anything. But there needs to still be goals. Really still needs to be goals. And there needs to be food in my belly. Hang on. And drink. That's a regular potato. We're gonna have to eat a baked potato. I should really be eating those to help out with my stuff and things. And I need to take something for the infection. I have got only one honey. Awesome. Well, that will stall it. Not by much. I'm supposed to have dumbed down zombie thing going? Yeah, I always said whenever they finally bring in the raiders, assuming they ever bring in the raiders, that the zombies should actually have the mentality of like Alpha 16 zombies, and the raiders should actually have the zombies AI that they have now. Okay. And that would make a bit of sense. You know, like why they can see through things, why they can do the things that they do. That's 80. Okay, let's go get our obviously great reward. Definitely. I don't know. I don't know how that they would be able to change out this kind of stuff. Whenever I try to... When I try to compare 7 Days to other zombie-related games and what the goal is by the end of it, there seems to be the lack of a goal at all. I mean, our jobs, the jobs that we do for the trader, they don't mean anything because the zombies just come back. There was a mod that we were playing, and it's like whenever you kill the zombies out of a POI, they don't respawn. Which was kind of cool, actually.
Step on in out of the heat and have a look.
I'll take the first aid kit.
Step right up and see what tickles your piston.
I meant to go through that other box. Do you have anything for an infection? Probably not. Dude, seriously.
Indeed.
Indeed. Get some better stuff and things. Infested, infested. I really do not want to do that.
Getting your hands dirty. Keep your
I
gun
guess I'll do it,
saddle
though.
oiled and your gun greased, and you'll do just fine.
Mm-hmm. I meant to go through all of the stuff inside that box and go ahead and get rid of the things that I know I'm not going to craft. Go ahead and make room. Get some extra money. I probably need to go... I could probably go find Jen and see if she has anything for an infection, but that's a long drive and she probably doesn't. Because for some reason the doctor doesn't like to carry that. There's a lot of people who don't want a story for 7 days, and I'm like, yeah, but in most sandbox open world games, you can opt into the story or opt out of the story. Or you can interact with the parts of the story you are interested in. And oh my god, look at all of those parts. You can opt into, not all of those parts, those can be combined. I am looking at them the wrong way. Hang on. There. It's just any parts that we are planning on doing. Like those we can sell. Hunting rifle? Is it better to combine and then sell, or sell them individually? Which way are you going to make more money on these? Oh. It's advanced Minecraft. I don't know. I don't mind the building and the crafting and all of that stuff, but I feel like there needs to be, I don't know, a reason for the survival. Instead of let me just go out here in the woods and do the thing and the stuff. Machete parts, steel tool parts. I'm not going to use a spear, knuckles, shotgun, rocket launcher, baton. Pistol, I will likely make... I don't think I will need these. MP5? Could be useful. Compound crossbow string. Okay. Alright. At 209, this is worth 83. No, it's only worth 84. I think I just sell them. Yep, I'm just gonna sell them. What did I miss? I was talking to a ghoul, now I need a shower? Uh-oh. Hey! What are you trying to say, dude? I still think they need to add in the ability to be a mutant.
Afternoon.
Of course, if you
Are
decide to be a
parts,
mutant.
Tools or a new vehicle?
Yeah? Do you have any of that? If you were to be a mutant, you couldn't just put a sack over your head and hide your identity to do missions, though. There. I made a bit of money. Okay.
Well, hot diggity dog. I might close up early today.
Yeah, I sense your sarcasm, my dude. Okay, I need to park myself back at my house really quick because I need to run to the restroom. Very, very fast. Zach, how you doing? You miss combining parts at a workbench? I do too. Darkness Falls was really good for that. You can spend like 5 hours combining and recombining and making things, and it's like, Look at that, look at that. Just a little bit more and I can get to the next level, and it's... yeah. It was time consuming, but it was fun being able to find another one. It's like, oh, I can combine that one and make the next level, and then I'll be able to stick another mod in there, and, you know, before you know it... Check Discord Gaming. You put a bunch of screenshots? Okay. You'll be happy to know that Bethesda listened to you, and there's a ghoul-specific dialogue for this update, apparently, but I'm not a ghoul, so I can't check. Nice. It would be a missed opportunity if they didn't offer a ghoul-specific dialogue. I am shocked at how few people actually opted to become ghouls. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go into the restroom and get me another drink. We'll run an ad over on the Twitch, so don't worry about it. You're not missing anything, and it'll stop me from getting ads as soon as I come back. Now's a great time to go get you a drink, use the restroom, find a snack, that kind of thing. The parts of the house are so damn cold. Dude. Make somebody not even want to have to sit on a cold seat. I'm not gonna get more graphic than that. That's what a ghoul would say? Hey. Thank you. AGF is here. Thank you so much for those biddies. They see me more as a creator, but I just set off nukes. Did I just grab a new drink in the restroom? No. On the way to the restroom is my kitchen. Yeah, that's where I keep it. My bathroom is icy cold, so you can sit on the toilet and nearby freeze to it, and while you're there, you can also reach over and grab yourself a soda. Not sponsored by Toilet. Yes, definitely. Anyway, that stuff has already worn out. Oh man, I don't know what it is, but I guess I have just been stopping so many zombies' fists with my face. I cannot go to a mission and not get an infection. Every single one I've done. The video that I did that I'm not gonna spoil, but the video that I did that came out at 1 o'clock, I did missions, got infections every single one of them. Every damn one of them. I swear their infection injury chance thing just does not mean anything from the time that they talked about it. What version was that even? Whenever they introduced the critical damage feature, is supposed to be like, you get so much damage and then suddenly you can get hit for critical damage. And during that critical damage time is when you could possibly get the infection or a broken arm or, you know, random list of things. I feel like that doesn't really exist anymore. Just basically, you could get one tap by a zombie and immediately get an infection. Or immediately get a broken arm or something like that. And it does not matter about your armor or anything. None of it means anything. So is that just me? Maybe it's just me being bad at gaming. It might just be me bad at gaming. I don't like using guns ever since they made it to where if you shoot a bullet, a lady shows up, so I just tend to use my melee weapons, which usually results in me getting hit in the face. Sound sanitary? Yeah, make sure you get lots of flavor. Definitely. Dude, get off of that bush! Just over there being extra. Zombies ain't even acting like zombies right now, they're just being extra. Keep a bath full of ice, just throw the drinks in there to keep them cool? Should also help when you go to take a shower. The more you shrink, the less you have to wash. Not that ladies have anything to shrink, but things are cold. Don't like cold. I actually quite hate cold. Hello, housekeeping! Purple dye. Thanks. Hello! Okay. So a redneck cooler, bathtub full of ice and drinks. Yeah, basically. Actually, a redneck cooler is just anything you have on hand. Are you for serious? Through a damn door! Absolute cheats. You get a 1-block gap. You get to reach through items to hit people. Cheats and hacks. I stole your toilet paper. It's 2020 all over again. Hate cold, got snow everywhere. Oh man, we just got cold temperatures. I don't even want to be outside. And it's fluctuating a lot, so I don't even know how to interact with my plants right now, I swear. Like, the broccoli is going okay. I've actually got a head of broccoli outside that's like this big, which is really cool. I've never grown broccoli like this before, so it's very awesome. But the cauliflower hasn't headed up yet at all, and if it freezes, when that starts heading up, it'll ruin it. But it hasn't started, so I don't want to cover them because some of the days that we've had have been so dreary. It's like sun will peek out for like 2 seconds and then disappear for 5 days. You know, because it's a vampire and it doesn't like sun either. I just don't know how to do anything with my garden right now. That, and I don't want to be outside. Hold on. That was probably very rude. She didn't die from it either. She came down here looking for some more. Just saying. I got Mo in Mo. There's Mo. More Mo. What am I hearing? Anybody in this house have any honey? They just don't even care that they can't see you anymore. Oh no! Not wasting my ammo on you, dude. Dadgummit! I was trying to avoid getting hit again. Rude. Ooh, steel club. Hello. 34, 26. It is definitely improvements. It's very, very sad. I made that one myself. That's disgusting. Wonder what he ate. You have a short period for gardening? Yeah, definitely. Thugs are the steel club banks. Oh, really? They have all the steel clubs? Apparently I have reached the level where they drop. Now if they could drop me a good freaking weapon, it would be nice. You know, a force multiplier, a hole puncher. Don't slap that. You're gonna break my corn. Blueberries? Do the blueberries taste like blueberries? Do the snozberries taste like snozberries? Hold on. Nice. Ew. Dude was spraying out of his nose. Nothing. They kind of look like whole pizzas on the inside. Oh, well, without the cheese. Just keep taking their paper. Pineapple on pizza? That's disgusting. No sweet meat. Oh, I didn't even get a chance to tell you guys. I was lucky this year. I actually found salted ham. Hickory smoked ham this year. Oh my gosh, dude, I got 2 of them. Calm down, lady. I meant to actually open the door. I hit the button to open the door. That did not happen, but it's fine. Haircut. Oh, jeez. I'll be happy when you are gone, dude. Brandon Fraser was looking for you, by the way. You would eat pineapple on pizza? Gross. You thought you were hungry, but not anymore? Cop aim. Doesn't seem... Still be a spitter. Yeah, there will still be a spitter, and I don't think that the cop should be able to spit, but... Like I said before, I'm pretty sure they didn't really think that one through. Enforcer shoes. Run speed +8. Safe fall distance. Psh. Like I ever fall off of anything. You know what's supposed to happen, right? Oh, those are with a cell. Do I have room for that? I can't put it in there with that. Got a bash? Where's loot? Upstairs, yeah? having computer issues, so been MIA. Not again. I really don't think the cops should be the ones spitting. I think the guys in the radiation suits should be. It makes sense that they got into radiation because they were wearing the suits and their suits failed. Why was it given to the cops? Other than, cop has fat belly. Funny if it speaks. Let's go down here with this other pile of disgusting. Don't break that. I heard that. Yep, I just slapped you both. Somebody's behind me. Hi, Ed. I need stamina. Cops needed range attack for police violence action. Now you could give him a baton if you wanted to give him a weapon. I mean, there are games out there and movie series even that have zombies with weapons, so this is just disgusting. They wanted to give zombies weapons without giving them weapons. But why? Take your leg with you, dude. He did not take his leg with him. Okay. Just like a big pile up right there, and I'm gonna get stuck in corpses. Stream Elements, why are you advertising a merch store that does not exist anymore? Oh, hang on. I guess I need to go back through all those files, huh? Okay, that gets me to the basement and to there, so that should be enough. There's obviously some more bad. I mean, they have a gun? Yeah, but it wouldn't be very immersive for a zombie to be able to shoot a gun. Especially if the zombies have an aimbot. Don't do it. What I need is that dummy thing that used to show up. Which one was it? It's like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or something like that. It's like they were pretend fighting or something like that, and it cuts away and it shows something being thrown, and it's a dummy. I need one of those, but it's like a PNG. Hey, the cement mixture. That's what I've actually been looking for that. I need one of those so I can just hit a button every time it happens, and it just shows one going across my screen. That would be hilarious. Oh, I don't have any room for that. You know what? Good heavens, Liz. You are frustrating the crap out of me, and I'm me. Do all of those. Drop that, drop that, drop that. Drop all of the things. We're just gonna worry about taking home the important bits. Ragdoll with the steel club. Yeah, it's like there is a delay that happens with the zombies. You can see it when they walk, whenever they're stopping to change direction or something like that. They walk and they go into their idle phase, their idle whatever, and then they'll move a little bit and they'll readjust, but they'll go to the idle thing again. That happens. And then whenever you hit them with a thing, it's almost like you can literally see the string back behind them being pulled like they're on the set of a movie. It is not realistic. I seem to recall there actually being realistic zombie flyback things, you know, ragdoll stuff at one point. I don't recall it being that obvious that it's delayed. Is it because this is a server? Or is this like in single player too that it does this weirdness? Okay. Where's my loot, dude? It's gotta be upstairs, right? Why do I keep picking that up? I do need to be picking it up. I specifically need to be picking that stuff up, but not right this second. There you are. You guys come on down here. This is the reason why I run the 96 slot backpack. The backspin ragdoll looks great. It looks horrible. It's so telegraphed and movie stuntman-like. Yes, it really is. I fully expect it to be like if someone shot a zombie with a shotgun or something like that in Walking Dead or something like that. It'd be that same kind of look with the pullback. That's exactly what it looks like. Jeez, that back bend, though. Hey. Also, what's the point in... Blah! Sorry, dude, I didn't even ask for permission before. I just walked over there. Okay. I thought the only thing that was supposed to have a pushback like that was the baton because it has a stun repulsor mod. And that's the reason why it has the ability to do that. I didn't... When did they add it to blunt weapons? Oh, you were still asleep. An infested cache. Nice. I actually do want all of this stuff, so I'm gonna have to read some things and toss some things. You've already got that. Can I put another one in you? Yeah. Just hold on to that for a minute. I'm gonna have all the parts to a nail gun long before I have the ability to build one. Cool. Nice farmer's hat, dude! Needs a 60 slot backpack minimum. It's dumb that it has such a small inventory. I really like the way Undead Legacy did this, to be honest, where they did the weights instead. And now you have ordered pizza. Nice. I have still got so many leftovers in my kitchen. I would be It would be irresponsible of me to order pizza right now. I don't even have room inside my refrigerator for leftover pizza. I'm still working on it. Hey, a pickaxe, dude. That's a pretty decent tier pickaxe. Let me see. Do I have room for this? Yeah. Okay, so... here, hold that. For right now, I do have a mod to go in you. Now, I won't make iron tools because the damage to stamina ratio sucks like hell, but if I happen to find one, I will use it. We are done with the mission. How is way out? Hi, Frank. How are you doing? If we have leftover pizza or family's not eating enough? No. Typically what I'll do is on Friday I'll order 2 pizzas and it'll basically be the meal for the entire weekend. I actually kind of like ordering that way. That is definitely not floating, don't worry about it. Whatever that is. I really like ordering pizzas on Fridays and just having something I can quickly eat. Because I do a lot of editing and re-uploading because I upload to Rumble as well. So it gives me time to work on other things and not have to worry about making meals. Just warm up pizza. And if I could actually eat all of the pizza in one day, then I would have to order more pizza. So I like ordering enough pizza for the entire weekend, if at all possible. It is. I don't understand why the Steel Club does that now. Well, I did it with the bat before, too. Where it just kind of did that flyback thing for no real reason. I don't understand. I thought it was just supposed to be for the baton that did that. And it's because the repulsor mod was in it. I don't know why they added it to just a regular thing. I mean, it's supposed to, like, spaghettify him. It's supposed to, you know, knock him down and make him fall over. But as far as the throwback, that just seems weird. Put my meat in there. Put that in there. Put that. A couple of odds and ends that I know I'm definitely taking home. And as far as the backpack, it would be nice to have more room. I don't know how you make it immersive that people can go by and just pick up everything. Do I want the glue or the Molotov? Like I said before, I don't take the books or the book bundles.
Let's get you sorted.
I just absolutely refuse. I'm gonna put those up. Nail gun receiver. Don't want that. I might make a machine gun at some point, but I'm not gonna use that ammo. I could use that one. The mod drone schematic. How much money do I have? I've got a bit. I'll take a schematic. Weapons. Yeah, sure.
I might have some more of those in the back room if you're interested.
I'm still not going to your back room, Bob. I'm sorry, but you got those eyes, dude. You got those eyes. I'm not getting another mission tonight either. And go home and put up all of the stuff in the things that I've got. And see what things I can craft now, because I need to start crafting something with some of these parts I've got, or at least combining some of the stuff. To see if there's anything I can make. 2 pizzas and 1 BLT? Well, yeah, probably. I mean, he'll eat pizza, he's just not big on heated up pizza. He'll eat it, though. But it's usually something I'll try and do on Friday. It just depends on what time of the month we're sitting in and, you know, just general stuff and things. It's always nice, though, when we can get a pizza on Friday. Misc. Mids. Actually, like, I've got all of these nail gun pieces. Hang on. $203, and then nail gun parts, nail gun battery, nail gun frame. If I was to repair one of these, it'd probably make a fully filled up part. I guess it's fine. Auger blade. 2 auger blades. Hang on. We can combine those. Put that there. What else have we got? Like duplicates of like this and this. I do have the ability to craft pistols. I just don't even know what level I'm at. Level 1. I guess I would probably have to make pipe pistols until I got my levels up high enough, but I don't know about that, dude. Pipe pistols are kind of expensive to make. Do I have the stuff? And either glue or duct tape, probably. I can make a 48 of that one, but I can only make a level 1 of this. So does the pipe pistol not help you make a regular pipe, a regular pistol? I still haven't seen it yet. Seen the bat with it, but maybe blunts do that since technically the stun baton is a blunt weapon at its heart. Yeah, but they do have the stun baton on its own thing because it's not like you can take the stun repulsor mod and put it into any blunt weapon, and you can't take the fire mod and put it into the stun baton, so it's kind of like its own thing. The club sends them flying into the neighbor's garden, repulsor sends them to the next county. Yes, exactly. You stop using the repulsor mod in 2.0 because the knockback is so insane. I'm not chasing a biker across the desert. Yes, I have lost my dinner a couple of times because of that damn thing. Just sent the coyote to the damn moon. I can't harvest that. Reheated pizza. Eat a bad boy cold covered in barbecue sauce, preferably bullseye barbecue sauce or baby red. It just depends on whether or not I feel like reheating. During the summertime, I'm like, I'll go ahead and eat it cold. During the wintertime, things need to be hot. I don't even like drinking sodas. It's like I will actually literally dehydrate myself. I don't know how many times I wind up dehydrating myself during the wintertime because I don't even want to drink anything cold. Just like, I get cold easily and I hate being cold. Absolutely hate being cold. I will deal with and work with being overheated, but psh, if I'm cold, I'm just going to cover up in a blanket and hibernate. That's what's going to happen. Tools. Should I... Okay, hang on. I don't even have the ability to make it, but if I could make one, I can make a level 228. Damn. I can make a much better one, though. If I had the ability to make one. Oh, I need to upgrade these. Or fix. And take. Okay. Alright. I didn't mean to do that, but alright. There we go. That's not too bad. Ugh. I am carrying way too much crap. All these daggum 5,000 different types of ammo. I want the one kind of ammo and then like the really specialized? Sure, why not? I mean, who needs the English language? Special types of ammo that you would keep for a horde night. I don't like... I know they existed, but I just never used them, and the fact that we find them all the time now and instead of regular ammo is just kind of frustrating. I guess I should probably make myself some ammo. Assuming I can. Yes. Sure. Let's go ahead and make that. What else? What else can I craft right now? As far as the bows, what do I have open? The iron crossbow, I can actually make a 228, which is not bad. Do I have all the parts for it? So close. So close. I only need a couple more parts. Let's go check the trader. Maybe he's selling parts. I mean, I think I can scrap my bow for at least one part. I don't know that I could scrap it for 2 parts, but let me see about this before I go scrapping anything. I only drink cold drinks. I usually wear shorts with windows open in the winter, and I have my heat on 3 to 4 times during a year. Good grief. No, I can't do that. I cannot do that. I have never been fond of cold.
We're closing soon, so you might want to get... You name it. Old Bob's got it.
Uh-huh. Do you have bow parts, though? You have the schematic. You don't even have any bows I could potentially take apart. How many parts will I get for one?
Everyone's picking on me.
Can I stop it fast enough? It's only gonna give me 1 part. Okay. Well, I won't be scrapping it. I guess I need to go slap some trees. Let me go slap some trees and see if I can't figure out a way of taking care of this infection. It's going to require a lot now. I'll just stand here and wait. Sound? You know, before I go slapping all of these trees, I probably should make sure I've actually got the book that allows me to do that. My God.
What a noob uninstall.
No, I don't wish to uninstall. Is it Wasteland Treasures? Yeah. Yep, I have it already. There's one. Okay. That'll help a little bit. I still need a lot more. You figured you could spend like 1,000 of your 280k channel points? Good grief. Alpha 16 how? It's a mod. It basically just brings some of the features from Alpha 16 over into this one. I guess it's gonna make me go find something to drink before I can continue to take care of this infection, because... Dude, my character's gonna dehydrate and turn into a prune. How's my day going? Day going pretty good. It's going A-okay. Okay. You know what? I might actually drink that whenever I start working on the stuff on the things. You probably take some of those, take some of this. You know what? I might even take me a stack of taters. Need to go find the honey that I need. I'm not gonna sit here and have to deal with this infection. I probably need some extra honey afterwards, too. This is getting stupid. Every single fight, infection.
Hey, buddy. You look thirsty. Why don't you get hydrated?
Oh, thank you, thank you. Pestilence, how have you been doing? Did you have a good holiday, or did you have a holiday? We just got done with our holiday. And Thanksgiving turned out okay. All of the food cooked properly. There's a couple of dishes we decided at the last minute to go ahead and leave off of the list because we just ran out of time. Last year I was like an hour early in having everything done, and this year I was like 2 hours late in having everything done. And some of the things that I was making took longer than they would have normally because like I made my own pumpkin pie with my own pumpkins. It took a bit longer than I thought I was going to. Typically I would just like have the pies and just stick them in the oven. This time I had to like bake my pumpkins and then scrape them and send them through the food thing and all kinds of stuff. But it was fun doing, and it turned out really good. I kind of regret giving away one of the pies. Regretted it as soon as I ran out of my pie. Well, okay, well. Anyway. It's fine. Infection seems to be running rampant every day lately. Even the mods and stuff are ripe with it. Can't keep enough tap on to deal with lately. Waiting for Christmas? Nice. Chaplain has an addiction? Too many channel points? I have had an issue with the infections. Every day that I've gone on here, every single time I go do a mission, I get an infection. And if I could just throw a whole bunch of ammo downwind or whatever and not have to worry about it, that would be a different story, but of course then you call in a screamer if you do that. Thanks, Scratch. Anybody got more of them stuff and things? Your family wanted to wait until Christmas to cook? That sounds nice. I like doing Thanksgiving because my mom no longer cooks Thanksgiving, so I like to cook them at Thanksgiving to make sure she eats one. But it is very stressful doing it. Though I have to say, I do enjoy having the leftovers, even if I do get tired of the leftovers. For several years, we went to either my mom's house, my sister's house, or to Bam's mom's house, and every year we would wind up having really good meals, but wouldn't have any leftovers. And leftovers are always good the week afterwards, and kind of missed having those leftovers. And now it's like, I got the leftovers, and now we're getting tired of them again, you know? Sorry. Should have tried a tow tray and get the pie back after offering double the loofah. Oh, there you are. Now, I haven't actually given loofah to anybody. I'm still trying to figure out how to make the things that I want to make. I don't sew a lot, and I never learned how to use a sewing machine. I've always stitched things up by hand, and my stitching is passable and it works. It's just not pretty. And I feel like if I'm going to try and sell these to people that I know, that I want to make the stitching pretty. So I'm having to take my time and learn how to do it, and how to make it look nice, which stitching looks good, and all kinds of stuff. So it's probably going to wind up being next year before I wind up selling any of the stuff that I've gotten from this year, because it's going to take me that long to figure all this stuff out. I mean, I do have the ability to just give them just the loofah itself. I would just... I would just be able to prefer to, you know, make it a little bit nicer, you know. Just make it something different, special. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can order a loofah online, but not a lot of people make crafts out of them, and I would like to be able to do it. And one of the biggest problems I've noticed is my vision is just not great for sewing. It takes some negotiation. What? Where did you come from? Better question, where did you go after you just hit and ran me? Hello? What the heck was that? Okay. Oh, I see you. Okay. Every time she says loofah, take a drink. Why? Do I say loofah a lot? Spitter's name is Cotton Eye Joe. Where did he come from? Where did he go? Yes, exactly. No trees over here. That was what, 2 of them? I was up to 15. So I will need at least 3, possibly 4, in order to fix the infection. Not sure how you didn't see me coming, lady. You know, if there was actually a mechanic because she's missing an eye on one side that she couldn't see you walk up from that side, it would be hilarious. But she doesn't. Why are you making the noise like there's a whole line of zombies coming for me? You can have some in your base. You don't mind. You're very anti-infection. You hates it. Uh-oh. First you handicap Ed, and now you're blindsiding Dangles? You call her Dangles? Ow, man. Oh, man. A zombie with only one eye. Being able to see from one side is considered fun. We all know fun is not allowed in this game. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Things that would make things unique and fun and interesting and have certain dynamics where it may or may not be useful, just like you're not allowed. Stop thinking outside the box. Get back in your box. Live there, eat there, exist there, be happy. Oh, hang on. Supposedly this one is supposed to have a higher chance of giving you honey, but I don't think I've ever gotten it. I think somebody just lied to somebody else about it. Why are you here? Why are you here? I'm gonna go this way for about a mile or two, where it's a little bit safer. Why is there a mountain lion over here? It'd be cool if Ed could never run because of his bad knees, so like feral Ed just jogged. Just jogged or like limped really hard, you know? Or if he starts running towards you, he falls over, but he still tries. That would be great. I'm not trying to fight some freaking ferals. Good grief. What level am I? I'm just level 29. Flat bottom world keeps the world going around. Yep. Yep. Is anyone else in the server? What am I doing? Let me click on all of the things. No, nobody else is in the server. There's a dude standing right there too. It is very hard to get these things out of a non-fully formed tree. Really don't want to have to go all the way over there, but I don't want to have to fight ferals in order to get something for an infection. Uh-huh. Thanks. Hello. Goodbye. Hi, Frank. Okay. I do apologize. My voice is actually finally going now. I thought it would make it all the way through the stream. It's not gonna do it. Don't try to eat and type at the same time. Uh-oh. You're trying to do two things at once? How dare you? You're not allowed. Not again! Oh my gosh. Okay. Good grief. Go ahead and use that. Can I find some place? Now, let's go over here somewhere that I haven't hit up yet. Medicine level has increased. Cool. Why? I don't think he's dead. He was not. Well, if anything, I'm getting a whole lot of wood for building a base. This is not how I wanted to spend the evening time. I don't have a stone. There we go. I found dinner. There we go. UPS triggered the alarm, can't shut it off because it's surrounded by 10 zombies and more are coming. Oh no. Uh-oh. Yeah, those alarms are fun. Dadgummit. Yeah, by the time I find my next honey, that stuff is gonna wear off. Come on! How often does this book work? What percentages are we talking about here? I honestly can't see how they're going to add in beehives and balance them. You'll trade me 100 wood for 1 cure? Uh-oh. Wish the tree seed thing was standard issue? It would be nice. It does seem to help keep the map more stable. Darkness Falls Beehive made infection non-existent. Yeah, basically. I think the problem is that they don't have enough types of infection. If that makes any sense, like... Obviously the zombie infection is not still going, otherwise you wouldn't be able to find a cure from it. Otherwise any pre-war, pre-bomb, pre-outbreak something or another would probably fix it. But, like standard infections, there should also be a way of catching it early and bandaging and cleaning and, you know, that kind of thing. You know, standard immersive ways of handling infections and wounds and stuff like that, which would make more sense that are obviously not in the game. But it just seems to me like there's not enough different types of infections. Oh my goodness. Ah, not you again! Oh, stamina. Stamina, please. Stamina, please! You suck! You know what? I know you're not dead. Now it's at 9. I hate this update. It's just annoying. Just annoying. It was kind of like what I was saying in Vane. If you're going to have infections and sickness and stuff like that, there needs to be a comprehensive way of dealing with it. Not just, if you're sick, go get cold medicine. It's actually genuinely not how people, over the span of however long, treated colds. In a lot of cases, they didn't do anything for a cold and the cold would clear up on its own. Of course, that was before I understood that there is a sick and a sick question mark that makes them different, so I guess they do identify them as being different. But if they're gonna have within a year all of the meds and everything go off or go bad or whatever, they have to add in a way in the game for you to be able to make and or find other medicines. Make
Hey, buddy.
and or
You
find
look
more
thirsty.
food.
Why don't you get hydrated?
Thank you. I got my throat. I tell you, after 2 days of recording, my voice just does not want to work. My throat just does not want to work. It's just like, yeah, no, what if we don't? Why can't I eat and write at the same time? If they can do it in movies, I can do it. Oh, I have 2 in my pocket. What on earth? I didn't see those. That should take care of it so long as I don't get hit again. Standing in the middle of the road, hotboxing all of my food is probably not the way to do it. The only way they can mitigate that is to give honey a limited time thing, but if you're going for immersion, you can't do that. Sure, 74 water. Actually, that's not entirely true, technically. If they were to give honey a rating that would determine whether or not it lasts, that would be different, because the honey type that lasts for a long time, like they found inside the Egyptian sarcophagus and that was still honey or whatever. It's because it had a low moisture content whenever it was harvested. If it's got a high moisture content, it's still edible and everything, but you just can't keep it around as long. It won't store properly. So if you were to have varying levels of quality of honey, it's like the really good quality honey lasts for a long time and you put it back and leave it. If you have lower quality honey, you can use it for low-end infections or for mixing in with food to add some sort of a beneficial effect that would boost your immune system for a little while, but not actually offer you very much. That would be a different story, but that's probably more comprehensive than this game could probably even handle. And as a matter of fact, I don't see Vane being able to implement something like that either, but of course, I mean, there are a whole lot more, I don't know, involved. There are interactions in there that I just did not think that a game would ever or not. Caffeine does that to your throat. Oh, well, I'm just going to sound like I smoke a pack a day then by the time I get old. It's just going to be a thing that's going to happen. Anyway, if they're going to make a game where just the changing of the seasons changes your daylight hours, there's a chance that the game might get so involved that they could do something like that. But you can make recipes that include honey, you can make honey storages, you can make honey bees, but not every harvest of honey is equal to the same harvest. It would be varying degrees of good. Not every single thing comes off. Like, say you have a beehive and the bees swarm, and your bees are just gone. So you'd have to go and catch more bees. You could technically get very in-depth with the homesteading section of a game like that, but I just don't see most games doing that much studying, especially when they're like, oh, all of your canned goods are bad. Not even a year into your apocalypse, it's like, yeah, that wouldn't happen. That's not going to happen. So far, out of all of the things that I've seen in Vane, that is the only really non-immersive, other than, you know, the the hair on the zombies and the zombies themselves being very unimmersive. But other than that, that's really the only unimmersive thing I've seen in Vane is that. And I know that they probably did it for balancing reasons, to make sure that you felt the impact of your apocalypse when it happens, and the fact that it's so long from the start, assuming you don't change any of the base settings, so long from the start to when the water goes out and when the power goes out and when food goes off, there's actually a long time to store up a lot of things. And it's not like they made it very hard to garden or hard to fish or hard to do any of those things until winter comes in. I have no idea how food storages is going to happen during the winter time, but obviously as food is frozen, it's not going off, so maybe that? I don't know. Oh. Love the zombie list fight in Vane. Wonder how many times we can infect ourselves. Could we populate the world as zombies? Honestly, I've gotten myself infected so many times in Vane, it's ridiculous. Though I do like the fact that we actually turn into a zombie and you have to go fight yourself. It's very therapeutic because I get on my own nerves sometimes. Missy, how you been? It's been a while. What you been up to? This is the fun pips. They'll do what they want to force people to play the way they want their game, and if that means honey rots within an hour to stop people from hoarding infection cures, they'll work that way to force it to happen. Yeah, they really will. They'll make it very hard. They'll nerf the crap out of honey. And then when people complain, they'll peel it back to the point of you wonder why you even had it. It makes something obsolete and people will complain again. And it's like, they are so heavy-handed both ways. The dew collector being one of them. They never had to take the jars out to give people the dew collector. They didn't have to do that. They could have... Well, like I said, there were so many different ways they could have done water. Oh, man. I can make it to the end of the stream without having to take anything. Then I can let my throat rest. They could easily have made it where water was not an issue at all to find in the pine forest. It's early game. You're going to have other things to deal with, like, I don't know, zombies trying to kill you. That's a big one. And then once you move into other biomes, each one of those biomes offers a different thing that happens to the water that you have to accommodate for. Like you're in a burned biome, you have to filter your water before you can boil it. Whenever you get to the desert, water is very, very hard to find, so in that case, a dew collector would actually make sense. When you get to the wasteland, your waters are radiated, so you have to make or find iodine or something like that, and then you can boil it and drink it. They could have made it immersive. They could have. They could make beekeeping immersive if they wanted to, but are they? I haven't played Vane yet, but from what I've seen so far, only thing that bugs me is no skinning or butchering animals. The loot gives way too little hide and meat, and don't even get bones, which could be used for broth. Yeah, I don't understand why you don't get bones, and I'm kind of puzzled about why the butchering happens the way that it does, other than they use the same model that they do for zombies checking their pockets, so that might change later on. Who knows? I think it makes no sense at all that honey would cure an infection. It makes an infection go up slower, but only antibiotics can heal. Honey does have antibiotic, antibacterial, and antiviral properties, but it's more of a preventative rather than a cure. And it would be something that you would take every day. For instance, when I said people typically make fire cider and elderberry syrup, that's actually something that you would take every day. You would drink your elderberry syrup and you would drink your fire cider. At the very first sign of a cold or a cough, you would double that, but it's not actually going to stop you. It's just going to bolster your immune system to help you through it as it's supposed to. Your body can fight it on its own. Just having that extra there for your body to utilize to fight it on its own is what it's actually for. It's never supposed to have been an actual antibiotic. They just kind of dumbed down infection a lot. When you think about it, our characters crawling through broken down buildings, walking around cars that have been on fire, broken into, impaled on each other and stuff like that. Why doesn't a character ever get tetanus? That's a very serious infection that you have to have a specific thing for. And it's like, hey, yeah, mostly these people would not be alive at this particular point, but honey, you know, honey. Or like if you were treating a wound and you put honey over the top of it to help keep it from getting infected, that's actually how you would use honey. It wouldn't cure it. Oh, why is my video at 1 frame per 5 seconds all of a sudden? I would say refresh. Stardew Valley is an addiction? Oh, okay, I gotcha. Oh, they wanted to force you to... Yeah, sometimes things will happen. Like, YouTube does that to me all the time. They'll freeze the video whenever an ad's trying to play, but it can't load properly. It's so irritating. You've been on a break from this game for a year now? I can't blame you. I can't blame you. Then try for immersion all the wrong things. Animals need to be more consistent in what you get according to your butchering skills. You could have butchering skills. You could also make animals harder to find during different seasons. You could also make it to where you would have to look for the animals where you would normally find them. Boar are not just going to be running around, at least not around here. We don't actually have very many boar. We do in like southwest Georgia. There's supposed to be a pack of wild boar that run around. But as far as I know, they're not prevalent here. I don't know about New York, where the game takes place, if there's boar that just run around. But there needs to be animals that are usual for being seen in that location, and that's the ones you have to hunt. There also needs to be trapping skills. Like, they have rabbits. You should be able to trap them. Sounds like you need some honey too. My throat's doing a thing. I do apologize. My throat usually has just had it by the time I get done with recording, but this week has been... The temperatures have been up and down, left and right, and all kinds of things. My throat's not happy. Risk getting amputated? Oh, geez. Yeah, that would probably happen. Tetanus has nothing to do with rust. That's why. Well, supposedly it does. So that's what you're supposed to use honey for? Whoops, Reaper. Do I even need to ask what you're using your honey for? You would have eaten all the honey. That's true. That's very true. If they gave you a reason to just eat it, how many characters would just go ahead and eat most of their honey and keep like 1 or 2 back? Use it for recipes. That way it encourages people to use up the honey. You don't need to nerf the honey. Just give it other uses too. I'm not sure that they'll do that either. Well, with what I've seen and heard, even testing a bit of the state of the game is in, it's safe to say it's really broken to the point where now is not a best time to return. It's probably not. It depends on which version of the game you enjoyed playing. If you didn't really care for 1.0, 2.0 just makes it worse. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that. I'm still playing it, and I'm waiting for 2.5 to come out to see how it's going to turn out. We'll see. Wild pigs maybe, but actual boar in Upper New York, I don't believe so. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know of very many people who live in New York to find out whether or not they have wild pigs, but of course, any of the animals that might have been like in a zoo or on a rescue farm or something like that, any of those animals during an apocalypse, there's a chance that they could have gotten out and bred. It depends on how far into the apocalypse our character is. From what I understand, this is right after it happens. It's weird that we don't get to see other people being turned into zombies. Maybe that will come later on because, like in Project Zomboid, you don't get to see the week of unless you're playing a mod, and then you can actually see as the zombie apocalypse takes place. So maybe someone will be able to make a mod for it later on that will actually allow you to see the zombies becoming zombies. Like people are walking around, they become zombies. Maybe that will happen. I have no idea if there's any intent on that. But it seems to me like if water hasn't been shut off, power hasn't been shut off, we are basically at the apocalypse spot. Like apocalypse just happened. The people down the street have gotten sick and you've been shut inside your house for maybe a few days and that's it. And the apocalypse happens. So it is kind of odd that the apocalypse happened that way, but it takes so long for your character to die from it, which is a bit on the frustrating side. As far as 7 days goes, it's obviously been quite a few years since the apocalypse started because all of the clothes have disintegrated and the only thing that exists is magical armor. Alpha 19 and 20 and a bit of 21, but not as much. Yeah, I wouldn't. 1.0 broke the game. 2.0 killed it. I'm hoping 2.5 can fix at least part of it. We'll see. Tetanus is bacteria from horse urine that was from a paper in the 90s, and even doctors still don't know. It's because they don't bother to keep updated on any modern medicine discoveries. I don't know about that one, but medicine not being done properly is a common theme. Source New York Feral Swine Management Report. To date, there have been 4 distinct breeding feral swine populations documented in New York, located in Tioga, Cortland, Onondaga, I don't know how to say that, Delaware, Sullivan, and Clinton counties. So there is a population of feral swine, so they make sense. The deer make sense because deer are all over the U.S. They are overpopulated right now. Sometimes their population gets low, sometimes it gets high, but for the most part it makes sense. Wolves make sense. I don't know if they have a population of mountain lions or anything else like that, so far I'm seeing like these are animals you expect to find. I find it odd that we don't have dogs or cats. This soon into the apocalypse, you would figure there'd still be dogs running around. It could be dormant on any rusty metal, which is where the myth comes from. Well, if that's the case, I wish they would stop because, man, the last tetanus shot I had, which was, I won't say because I'm not going to jinx myself. They got the back of my arm and made my arm hurt for, no joke, 2 months. It was ridiculous. It was stupid, actually. Alpha 19 really loved. Alpha 20 some, but fell off at some point. 21 was a hit or miss. And the changes really screwed me up and felt off. Indeed. Feral swine, not boar. Yeah. Well, I'm going to give Vane developers the benefit of the doubt whenever it comes to their stuff. They put out a game that's not complete. It's obvious that it's not complete, but they've got a lot of really good stuff in there. I mean, I have been impressed thus far on how intricate all of the stuff is. I mean, like, even something as small as, hey, I warmed up this can of food, but if I don't open it, I'm going to hurt my mouth trying to chew on it, you know? Or when the seasons change, the daylights get longer or shorter. I'm wondering how closely they actually paid attention to that. As a gardener, it interests me in my own gardening thing, and I even have a journal for it, so I wonder whether or not how closely, if any of the devs, which there's only 2 developers, if they know as much about gardening as they could potentially study to implement it into the game and how intricate that could be. But if any of the developers are out there and you're looking for gardening tips, I am more than happy to do all of that research. I'm looking for a part-time job. Just hit me up. I'll do all of the research and give you all of the numbers. I'll even tell you specific types of crops and everything that you would grow in that area and how long it would take to grow. All of the details. But that way you wouldn't have to actually research all of that. I would research all of the homesteading part of it. I don't know anything about weapons. Somebody else would have to help them with weapons. I know gun goes boom, and I like the way it feels whenever it does, because I enjoy shooting. I just don't know that much about weapons in particular. Like, I don't know styles. I don't know shots per minute. I don't know, you know, from this gun to this type of ammo, what works, and all that stuff, that specific stuff. I like shooting. I'm actually a pretty decent aim, but I don't know all the technicalities. Just like I don't know that much about cars. I actually kind of like the fact that the vehicles are so interchangeable. It makes me feel like I'm doing something, even though I'm not. I know it's not immersive to be able to take parts off of like a little golf cart and put them on my truck, but it's still fun to do. So animals are way better at detecting illness than people. It'd be running around for a long time after humans after. Yeah, they probably would be. There would probably be a lot of feral versions of them. And if there are other people, which they do have a social skill, and they're planning on having traders and NPCs and stuff like that, so you would figure animals would also be a part of that. Plus domesticated, like they have cows and, I haven't seen chickens, but I'm assuming they probably would. Rabbits, domesticated rabbits, pigs, that kind of thing. Though I'm not sure if the type of cow that they're showing is the type of cow that would be in that area. I don't really know. I think it would be one of the fluffier cows instead of the one that they're showing. But like I said, the skins that they're showing for different animals are obviously probably not going to be the same thing that shows up at the end. There's also the Eurasian boar, aka Russian boar, that were illegally released. They're known as the Russian boar, wild hog, razorback, feral swine, invasive Eurasian boar representative, a great threat to New York. Really? You missed the explosive protection from 15 or 16? Yeah, I do too. They completely took that out of the game. I can't say how I know this. I have been exploded a few times. It would be nice if... I have no idea how they're planning on taking the game, as far as I know, they might be taking their game this way. It would be nice if, for their first map, they do a lot of things that are geared towards that area. Really specialize that map, that area, and that way of playing to that location. New York, the seasons change when it changed in New York. The crops that you would grow there are the ones that you would grow in New York, and the animals that you have there that you would hunt in that area would be like New York. And if they decided to continue working on the game and create a new map, it's in a brand new location with different growing times, different types of animals, different types of things that they have to deal with locally. Like if it was in a desert location, you actually have to deal with dehydration a whole lot more. This game has the ability to change a lot according to where their map is located. And since it's not like 7 Days where you don't actually have seasons, you have biomes, and it's all random world gen, or you got Nabsgain and that's it. Vane has the ability to specialize and make each playthrough feel exceptionally different just based off of the map alone. I can't wait to see how far they take that, and I hope that they do indeed do that. I think that would be awesome. Frequently? Yes, yes. There might have been one or two landmines in there somewhere. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, because I'm just, like, driving the time up. I've just been standing here driving time up in the server, which is not what I'm supposed to be doing. We're gonna raid somebody. Thank you guys for being here. There's a whole lot of talking about a lot of different games and a whole lot of venting about 7 Days itself. But like I said, thank you guys for watching the video. I appreciate that you guys are still here, even though I'm not a part of the official content creators. I didn't start as an official content creator, and I will continue making content over the game and talking about it like I normally do. So, thank you guys. And, I mean, that video is like at almost 6,000 views, which is crazy. Also, go check out other content creators, and if they have been booted from or left the content creator section, tell them it's okay, and, you know, like, I don't know, there might be a few people that are very upset that they got booted or something like that, and it has little to do with them and more to do with the bullcrap that the fun pimps are doing. So make sure you're there for your favorite content creators that are dealing with that crap. Let me see if I can find someone to redirect to. Over on the YouTubes. It looks like Hell's Janitor might be streaming, so I will send you guys over there. Y'all have fun. You just got killed by Grace. Oh no. Don't forget to check the Discord. I will check the Discord. Oh no, I'm looking at my phone upside down. Yeah, for some reason, none of my Discord notifications even showed up. Hang on. Do I have Discord open on here? I have Discord open on here. What am I doing? Hang on. When you get older, and you're like, I gotta adjust through different levels of magnification here. Wait a second. Yeah, it looks very, very much like Minecraft. The ducks looks confused. Those dudes look cute. That's adorable. I don't know what that is, but that's adorable. Yeah, it looks very cute. But is that like an online all the time game type of thing? Is that what you're saying? You got killed by Grace and you're playing in Fallout. Oh no. Well, you know, 7 Days stole a ton of stuff from Fallout. It's about time they return the favor. Okay, YouTubes. Thank you guys so much for being here. Like I said, if you missed what I did previously, this was like the day after the stuff that I just put on my main channel. So if you don't know, I have a main channel that I've got 7 Days, Vane, Surrounded, and some random horror games that I play occasionally that I edit down and put over there too. If you guys are interested, I just had a video that went live at 1 p.m. So I will see you guys next time. Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoy this channel. I would appreciate it. And I will see you guys tomorrow. We are playing Fallout 76, assuming, you know, the servers are going. I will see you guys then. Bye, YouTubes! Bye, YouTubes! Okay.